Well, I just realized I was muted. Hi there, folks. It's me, DokDeino. Just doing a nice, calm stream tonight, I hope. It's me, DokDeino. Oh, just doing a go ahead and nice mute this tab. Calm. Anyway, yeah. Just gonna talk dinos. Make a Triassic Park in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Should be fun. If anyone in the chat wants to come join, feel free. Just click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat. Anyone is welcome, as long as you're, well, anyone's welcome as long as you're not a jerk. I guess is probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I am trying to choose a map. Oh, and hello, Caden. Hope you are well. Haven't seen you in a few days. Try this map. It looks kind of dry, and we'll see how the plants are. They should be dry adapted. Because for anyone who knows anything about the Triassic, it was not a very wet time on Earth. It was pretty deserted, shall we say. Anywho, let's go ahead. Failures, lifespan. Oh, and I'm also streaming my screen, so you can see the chat over here, folks, but also you can see and hear the dinosaurs. Wanted it to be extra immersive, I guess you could say. Love, yeah. Should we enable combat? I don't think we'll enable combat, at least not for now. Kane's asking, will there be a fundraiser video? There will, but it will, well, it won't be on my channel. I will be joining Mr. Anderson on his. Should be fun. I hope. Let's have to be alike. All right, gameplay. Okay. Yep. Let's do Jurassic World Mediterranean. Yeah. Here we go. The San Albertas Peninsula. Now, I have still not played the campaign for this game. So, well, this section of the campaign. So this will be my first time seeing this place, I think. Maybe second. All right. Let's end that fly-in. All right. What are we looking at here? Huh. It's an interesting layout. All right. Well, we got to start somewhere. And if a post I saw is to be believed, we might be able to get away with not having a huge monorail like we've had in every other stream. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see, we need control center. And yep, okay. So there's different eras in this game. You know, there's the original Jurassic Park era, Jurassic Park 2, 3, Jurassic World. And in one of the Jurassic World, sorry, my brain just blanked. In one of the Jurassic World games. Okay, wow. For the Jurassic World 3 stuff, they added some things, including a special underground monorail system. So we can set up hatcheries wherever we like. We just gotta connect them via the Hyperloop, meaning we also hopefully won't have all our dinosaurs crowded in one spot, so it's a bit more interesting. Let's place another hatchery here. It's going to be a little bit of setup. Hope y'all don't mind. And here. Okay. And then something that... No, that doesn't have a... So I gotta look for something with Hyperloop functionality. That's what it's called. As Hyperloop. Thought there were other Biosyn things that had the Hyperloop. There, wait a second. Let me... Let's see, it was in a Reddit post. Biosyn... Biosyn power stations? Oh, cool. Yeah, so the power stations apparently those count. So just gotta connect the Hyperloop thingy. And, you know, guests will probably complain that they're not seeing too many dinosaurs, but it's not important that they see dinosaurs. It's important that y'all get to see the dinosaurs. And another one there. And let's just go ahead and place another one here. I would have done all this setup before starting the stream, but this was kind of a not quite last minute thing, but it wasn't planned super far in advance, to be honest with y'all. Right? And oh, come on. And there should be connected now. Now we just got to place our paths. And we should be good. Also, folks, when we start making dinos, same as in previous streams, any donations of $5 or greater can name a dinosaur. And on that note, for every $5 that is donated, you can add a dinosaur. Okie doke. So, let's get some dinos rolling out, huh? I have quite a few dinosaurs and dino mods, if you can believe it. That's a gate. Is it? Okay, I guess that's glitched. Huh. It's supposed to be an invisible fence, but apparently not. Anywho, I'll be making a bunch of dinos, and we'll do different parts of the world. Because as the title of the stream suggests, this will be a Triassic world. But, you know, the world's a big place. And during the Triassic, there was quite a bit of variety. even though the continents were all connected at the time. All right, almost done. And close off this section. Okay. So I guess to start us off, let's go with Triassic, Arizona. That should be interesting. And we have quite a few dinos from that place too. Oh, and I will go ahead and say once again, if anyone does want to join the stream, feel free. Until then, I believe Burio Lesti's here. Actually, let me double check where it's from. Let's see, Burio Lesti's. Ah, it's from South America. Never mind. I thought it was from North America, but apparently not. Guess that means we can start with Coelophysis boweri. Now, this dino is famous for a couple reasons. First, we have tons of them. I'm also going to make some Compsognathus. I think, like, the actual Compsognathus longypes is Jurassic. But I believe there were Compsognathids in the Triassic. Compsognathids. Okay, no, apparently they're all Jurassic and Cretaceous. But it can still be a smaller coelophysoid, because there were lots of those. In fact, if I recall correctly, Procompsognathus, which the compies in Jurassic Park are actually supposed to be, I believe those are now coelophysoids. So, it kind of works. Anyway, let's get these things ready to hatch. As you can see, I am making quite a few. I mean, they're little dinosaurs, and there's a bit of room to fill. They will also be eating meat. So we'll have a few meat feeders around. I mean, you have to have a bit of imagination sometimes with this game, so we'll pretend that they are just carcasses. And we'll give them a little river. Little kind of slightly pathetic river. But it's something. I'm not sure why it's locked so much above the ground, but it is. Also, we have a Caden. Hello, hello.
Hello. I'm probably not going to be able to stay very long.
That's all right. You're sounding a little quiet to me, so I'm going to turn up my audio. Hopefully that works. Let's see. Which of these do you think we should release first, Caden? Feeling Coelophysis? Oh, go ahead.
I'd say Coelophysis.
All right. And guess I might as well pick your brain now that you're here. How much do you know about a Coelophysis boweri?
Well, we actually have, I think, visible sexual dimorphism within the genus.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
Well, it's like we have, the Ghost Ranch specimens, right?
Yeah.
We have enough specimens from Ghost Ranch alone that we've been able to identify 2 distinct morphs within the skeletons. so we believe that the I think there's like a gracile and robust morph or something. I forgot what they're called, but there's two distinct morphs of Coelophysis.
Hmm. I genuinely did not know that. Huh. I'll have to do some reading on that because Coelophysis is one of my closet favorite dinosaurs. Just it's so early and weird, but it's so adorable too. They're doing a little social animation.
They're gossiping.
Yeah, I think so.
Time for,
Let's just keep going down the list. Let's do Compsognathus.
or I
And
guess comp
yeah, Pro
Compsognathus here.
Compsognathus.
Are
Are
they
they?
invisible?
They shouldn't be.
Well, none are coming out.
Um. Oh no! Did they glitch? Oh,
no,
they glitched.
they
Oh no!
no
Oh, this
clip.
has happened before.
They've no clipped into the back rooms.
Oh, I can't. I can't even delete the hatchery. Oh, they're just stuck there until they die. Oh man. Well, I guess I gotta make a new hatchery. Oh, that sucks. It's not the first time it's happened, though.
Queen Beryl took them.
Apparently. Oh, wait, or some. Nope. Okay, the prompt just appeared. I was hoping it meant some were coming out. Ah, well. Oh. Hmm.
Hey, look,
We'll
it's
go ahead and get a.
Cotyloranchus.
I do. I don't recall if that's Permian or early Triassic,
I think
though. And
Cotyloranchus is Permian.
yeah, and this is supposed to be late Triassic Arizona. Anyway, here we'll start up some compies over here. If they glitch out too, then we just won't have any compies.
Well, pro-compies.
Yeah, I mean compy can be short for Pro Compsognathus.
True. It's just like
Ooh, actually, that's a good question. Compsognathus or Compsognathus?
I've always heard it pronounced Compsognathus.
Okay. Because I know they're like you can argue about how to say it. Just because, like Natho is its own word and it starts with a silent G,
Yeah.
but it's a compound word, so should it be? I did it again. Okay. So much for having compies.
You could try like leaving the game and coming back in.
True. I mean, it's worth a shot. If it doesn't fix it, then probably just consider it lost. But we'll see. Well, what's new with you, Caden?
Well, nothing much. I'm getting close to graduating.
Oh, that's nice. What's your major?
I'm still in high school.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. There are things I miss about high school, but things I definitely don't. And yeah, the compies are still stuck. Dang. Ah, well. Ah, hello, Sparrow. Believe you are new to the channel. Hello, hello. Yeah. It's. I mean, I guess you're bound to argue about pronunciation when it's. I mean, isn't it still considered basically a dead language? Because there are no real native Latin speakers. Could be wrong on that. Okay, we did Postasuchus, going down the list.
There's
We do have.
Phasalsuchus.
Yeah, I don't remember where that's from. I want to say South America? Yeah, looks like South America. It's from the Ishigualasto formation. Oh, and apparently we actually have a decent amount of the skull. That's kind of cool. Huh. Neat. Wait, is it? No, never mind. I saw a thumbnail and I thought it was talking about Phasalsuchus. It was talking about Postasuchus. Well, I do know one stand-in creature that does work.
I was just thinking it was like Simos, I guess, for Rhynchosaurs?
Maybe. Although, like, there were small herbivorous crocodile forms all throughout the Triassic. Not just Triassic, all throughout the Mesozoic. Yeah.
It's just like, I'm only really familiar with, like, Dysmatosuchus for the
it'd be cool if I had that in the game.
In terms of, like, crocodilomorphs or pseudotsuchians that were herbivorous. I guess
yeah, but I'm sure there were others. How are you thinking for Calindodromius as just generic smaller ornithopod?
That works. I mean, it is a really basal ornithopod. Or Ornischian in general.
Right. And I think I'll do some Lysowikia, too, as a stand-in for Placerius.
The last of a dying breed.
I mean, according to Walking with Dinosaurs, but they seem to be going pretty strong right up until the end. Well, I mean, they were less common, but they weren't... It was one of the things that Walking with Dinosaurs really emphasized that it maybe shouldn't have.
Did the Simosuchuses eat the compies?
They shouldn't. I think they're on the I don't think they're on the right rig to do that, but it'd be a little cursed if they could.
Well, it's like the compies are stuck in there. So
yeah.
We don't know what's going on.
Also, I'm gonna do some plants just because they need them. Leaf, like, fiber.
Horse will eat chicks.
Yeah, true. Here. Okay, so we have a few plant groves. I doubt many of them really fit very well in this time, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, there's only so much customization you can really do in this game, at least.
Yeah.
Interesting. All the Coelophysis have kind of moved over.
They know something's coming.
I mean, after opposed to Sucus, I don't think there are any more like large predators coming. Oh,
Oh,
that that didn't happen last time. Oh no, did they do a stealth update? Oh, sometimes they do that and it messes with the mods.
ooh.
No, looks like the last update was a few weeks ago. I don't know why that happened. Huh.
It was probably Xana.
Zava?
Xana.
I do not know what that is. Ooh, that's loud.
Whoa. Xana's an evil
Alright.
computer virus thingy.
Is it from Sailor Moon?
No, it's from a French TV show called Code Lyoko.
Huh. Never heard of it. Alright. Oh, well, it's saved back here. At least we know the Simasukas are safe. I mean, I could turn hunting on and have the feeders on auto, but like the Simasukas would just be annihilated in a sweeping landslide of death.
Mm.
Here, we can use Lynn Elenosaura instead. I think this one works.
Well, it's like, as far as I'm aware, Leonosaur is only known from the early Cretaceous of Australia.
Yeah, but I'm going more for vibes, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it looks at least like a basal ornithischian. I should say ornithischian, not ornithopod, even though I think it's an ornithopod, unless it's an Elasmarian.
We aren't Elasmarians ornithopods, though?
I want to say they're the out group to them, but I could very easily be wrong. Here, no, actually, let me, because I just gave a talk about this the other day. So I still have a tree. Okay. Okay, it is the earliest branching group within Ornithopoda.
Ah.
Okay, so they are ornithopods, but just barely.
They're like basal ornithopods.
Yeah. Huh, which neat. Apparently Dryosaurus is an Elasmarian. As far as I know, it's still one of the earliest ones we have.
The Leonosaura have relatively short tails here.
Here? I mean,
Yeah,
it's still like 2/3 of the body.
true. But it's like
I don't remember how. I know Leonellonosaura have long tails, but are they much longer than that?
yeah, they're way longer. Like if you could
Really?
look up some contemporary paleo art of Leonosaura.
Jeez, I can never spell it. And Sara. Let's try that. Let's look for skeleton. Oh wow. I mean, if that's accurate, or this, I think it did get an update recently, but I mean, if this reconstruction is accurate, that doesn't look off to me. That's even in kind of the same pose. But again, I guess it depends on the reconstruction. Well, okay, so if this is accurate, then it is a little short. But only a little, and Leonellonosaura has a ridiculously long tail. Okay, now let's see Lissawikia. Oh, well,
Like
that
I
was
said,
eager.
they can face through walls.
Yeah, apparently. They got the superpowers.
They're so eager to get off the ark that they're facing through the doors.
Oh, geez, did you see that? This one's like one of its legs was inverted.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know what that. Wait, do they have a they have a foot thumb?
Oh, what?
Like they have a foot thumb, like a chimpanzee.
Couldn't.
They have like fat gorilla feet.
Goodness.
Let's see, first person view. Oh, thanks for telling me it's obstructed. Yeah, I couldn't tell. Huh. It's like a scaly gorilla foot. Oh, that is disturbing.
Um. Now I can see why the creationists don't want you to know this.
I wish I could go back to when I didn't know and I thought they looked cool. You ever verified the accuracy of reference photos? I mean, when I'm doing more serious work, I do. Usually, I try to get reference images straight from the papers I read. But it depends.
Wouldn't list? I mean, like, do we have Listersaurus fossils from North America?
We don't, but we do have small dicynodonts. So it's another stand-in for small dicynodont. Like there's going to be a lot of just stand-ins here. We have prosauropod trackways, I know. But I don't think we have Plateosaurus itself.
I think there's like a species that was once called Plateosaurus, but is now called Issy from Greenland.
Yes. I don't know the name, but yes. I'll still put it in here as a prosauropod. Well,
it's like
actually, that term's out of date now, isn't it? As a basal sauropodomorph.
Yeah.
Could just throw in a Gorgonopsid.
North America, I think.
Sorry, what is?
Smilosuchus.
I want to say you're right. Let me double check, but I think it is. Yep, North America. And how about Silosuchus? South America. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get some, probably, let's just say pseudo-crocs in here.
Well, I don't know. I think Smilosuchus might be from the same formation that Coelophysis is.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
I guess we could have Troodon stand in for another Coelophysoid.
Nah, I don't think we need to do that. Like I think Coelophysis is okay because, as far as I know, it's the only coelophysoid known from. Well, it's not the only. Is might be the only one from North America. I'm not sure now that I think
Uh,
about it.
Megapnosaurus and Syntarsis, maybe?
Megapnosaurus is from South America or South Africa. Words. At least I'm pretty sure it is.
Mm. I mean,
Oh, it didn't zoom in for the animation, but we have Lystrosaurus.
remember,
These weird little things.
remember, it wasn't the humans and the mammals that took over after the flood. It was the Lystrosaurus.
And then they realized the world wasn't in jeopardy of exploding anymore and left this plane. It's funny for creation science theater. Lystrosaurus was kind of an early mascot for a couple episodes because we just laughed our butts off, just talking about how absurd they are and their whole history. So for a while, we just had a demon Lystrosaurus in thumbnails and stuff.
We need to bring it back.
Maybe I definitely still have the image.
Hold on. We need
Oh, go ahead.
Sailor Lystrosaurus.
Pain. Tell you what, you make it, I'll put it in the game.
Seriously?
If you do, I will.
Sorry.
Or if someone does, I will. So, this is actually a good-looking Plateosaurus. Which, again, like it wouldn't be Plateosaurus in this formation, but
Well,
they have it labeled as a sauropod. It's nice.
I guess maybe Plateosaurus species.
Plateosaurus SP.
Yeah.
Oh, also, the Compsognathus are starting to starve.
Maybe then they won't glitch out again.
Well, then they'll probably just die, and then I can use the hatchery after they rot. Poor things.
Postman Postasuchus.
Yeah, stuck in a permanent Naruto run. Ooh, fierce, Smilasuchus. Well, at least it's heading to the water.
Fierce Godzilla has evolved.
Oh, one of the Postasuchus made it all the way over here.
And he's taking a nap.
Yeah, I guess so.
And here's our Placerius.
Yes. I think that's about all for this area.
Speaking of the CSTs, when do you think the next one will be?
I'm not sure. I've been kind of wanting to start them up again. So I think this area is going to be South Africa because we were talking about it, and it's neat. There are neat animals from there.
I'm sorry if I asked.
No, don't need to apologize. It's fine.
I'm sorry for causing you pain with the Sailor Lystrosaurus idea.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Oh no, Volcanodon is early Jurassic. Never mind.
I think the Kayenta Kente formation is early Jurassic, though.
Kayenta?
The
Um,
Kayenta Formation, where Syntarsis and Dilophosaurus are known.
there's South African. Um, sorry, there's South African Dilophosaurus.
Uh, no, I think the Kayenta Formation is in Arizona, but like, I think Megapnosaurus might be early Jurassic too.
Okay, now I got to look this up because I could have sworn it was Triassic. Megapnosaurus. Oh, it was early Jurassic. I thought it was. I thought it was Triassic. Like I thought that was why it was lumped in with
Coelophysis.
yeah. Well, wait. Then where does Tantacade?
The Kayenta.
Okay. Oh, Coelophysis Tantacade is from the U.S. I thought that was what Centaurs. It was
Well,
named as a species of Centarsus, and then it was moved to Megapnosaurus, and then again to Coelophysis. But at least according to Wikipedia, it might get its own genus. So it's just been everywhere.
I'm just gonna call it Syntarsis for simplicity.
Okay, so the original Syntarsus, if I'm understanding it right, or the South African one,
Is Meg
Megapnosaurus is Jurassic. Okay, I learned something today. I did not expect to, but I did because I thought Kyantakati was southern. Okay, well, what do you know? How about Styracosaurus?
okay?
I forget where it's from.
I
Oh,
think
it's
it's
from
from.
Brazil.
It's
Hey, you know what? We can do South America here. Why not? Because then we can use some other things that we couldn't use in the last place.
I think we
Oh,
have Lystrosaurs. We could use
yeah,
the
we would
Lysa.
have.
We can.
Lysowikia is European.
Well, we could use it as Ijigu. The South American Dicynodont that's contemporary with Herrerasaurus.
Oh, that's right. We can have Herrerasaurus in here. And Silosuchus. Um, okay. Yeah, you're right. We can do Lysowikia again.
This,
Silosuchus.
I think that the Cyanodont's named after the Ichigalasto formation.
Okay. So, I mean, so what would it be like? Is Chigolastodon or something like
I
that?
think it's Ijugalastia or something. You might have to look it up.
Okay, and I'm just gonna. Oh, yep, we can use Rheosaurus here too. I wanted to double check because I couldn't remember if that was African or not. And then there's a question from the chat. How rare are Edmontosaurus mummies? So that's a good question. So the thing is, we have a lot of Edmontosaurus. Um, but I think the mummies are still fairly rare, but they do exist. There are several of them. But that might just be because of the sheer number of Edmontosaurus we have. Because we have, I believe it's thousands, actually maybe tens of thousands of individuals now. Because there's a gigantic bone bed in, I think it's Montana. It's either Montana or Colorado, I think.
Um,
Um,
could it also be Alberta, where the type species is known?
I don't think it's from. I don't think it's Alberta, but I'm not sure. Anyway, all that to say, they do exist, but they are still rare because that type of preservation is rare. But we only really have as many as we do because of the sheer number of Edmontosaurus that we have. Like it is absurd how many of them we have, and that just goes to show how many of them there were, which is crazy to think about because, well, like an adult Edmontosaurus is like 2 or 3 African elephants,
like
in
50
size,
feet long and over 10 tons.
I've heard estimates going as high as like 16 for the biggest ones we have.
Ooh. And
yeah, they got big.
And this just goes to show how a global flood could not produce all the fossils we have.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's true. Sorry, that was an unexpected segue, but I agree.
Sorry.
Dude, no need to be sorry.
Okay.
It was just unexpected, but I mean, you're not wrong. Were they a species that last a long time? So it depends. I think there are currently 2 or 3 species of Edmontosaurus. Let me double check. Okay. Yes. Okay. So there are 2 species, at least currently. There's Eonectens and E. regalis. And I believe, we have some that are over 70 million years old, and we have some that are from the end of the Cretaceous. So they lasted at least 5 or 6 million years.
From what I've heard is that there's at least a potential 3rd species known from Alaska that was for some time called Ugrunaluk.
Yeah, but Ugrunaluk appears to be invalid currently. But sadly, because I really like the name.
Right, Nanukosaurus is still valid though.
Yeah, Nanukosaurus is still valid. The main reason why Ugrunaluk is no longer valid is because all of the individuals we had were juveniles. Yeah, like we have 20 or 30 individuals, but they're all juveniles, and juveniles of related species look very similar. Sadly, so they're not very diagnostic. And apparently, at least from what I remember from reading about it, their morphology fits right in with what we would expect Edmontosaurus of that age to look like. And until then, we didn't have any, or at least many Edmontosaurus of that age. Like that age bracket.
The Silosuchus sort of look like bipedal Komodo dragons to me, but with long necks.
Yeah, I like that. Like, so this is an updated version of a mod that was previously, that I showed previously, and yeah, that's very Komodo. I guess I can say Komodo coded. But I like that. Like, it's not a bad choice. Because Komodo dragons are cool. I like this one with the red throat pouch. Like, these two feel like they're like males and females. Oh, hello, you're all the way over here. Yeah, Titan. That could be a possible reason why we have so many. It's usually why we have a lot of specimens of different animals. If they were really widespread and around for a really long time, we're much more likely to have them.
Here's our Rheogosaurus.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess if it's South American, it would be Rioja, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't
Porque es
know.
español.
Yeah, I don't speak Espanol.
Puedo hablar un poco de español.
Mm.
No es muy bueno, pero quiero practicar más. I think I said all that right,
Um,
roughly.
maybe, like I said, I don't speak Spanish.
Eh, es no problema. Or no es un problema.
We could add Physalicus.
Yes, we can. Let's not do the cursed Allosaurus version.
No, he gets his own pen on a deserted island in the middle of the lake.
Okay, I just had an idea. Let me see if there's anything else I can add, and then I'll do it. You know, actually, I'm gonna breed one. Oh, and yes, Titan, Edmontosaurs. Well, Edmontosaurs were primarily herbivores. However, we do have specimens with preserved gut contents. And I think at least one individual we have, apparently was eating rotting wood. And it might have been for the grubs that were in the rotting wood,
Ah.
which I think is pretty neat. Oh, come on, move. Ah.
Well, there's that magic yellow circle there.
Well, yeah, it's powered. It's just I wanted the Silaszucus to move so I could plop that down.
I'm gonna put it in.
Here.
I was hoping for a.
Here.
Well, first, it
we'll
needs
give it a.
It needs to be out in like the river or something. On an island.
I don't think I can do that, sadly. But we'll give it a little water.
And then we'll draw the lake around it so that it'll be an island. Well, after we put the Physalicus in there.
Yes. Come on, let me place.
Maybe a little bit bigger pen for him. There's barely enough room for food and stuff.
No. He shall suffer for his crime of being born. The sins of the father unto thee. Yeah, that's true, Titan. I mean, humans love a bit of fungi too. Actually, the first mushroom I ever ate and liked were morels. Do you have morels around where you live? Oh, Caden left. If anyone else wants to join, feel free. The join link is pinned at the top of the chat. Anyway, I used to really hate mushrooms growing up. Hated them a lot, actually. The first mushrooms I ever tried that I actually kind of liked were fried morels. Morels are, well, they can be big, but they're these orange mushrooms. Oh, you're fine, Caden. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. They're these kind of orange to brown mushrooms that I don't know what they grow on, but they grow out in the woods, and you just pick them. And you cook them. Like, you can fry them, or you can, I think you can grill them too. But they're really good. especially fried, because they really pick up seasonings really well. They were kind of my gateway into enjoying mushrooms. Also, so apparently Coelophysis cayanticati is from North America, but I mean, there were South American coelophysoids, so we can add them in. We can also add in Buryolestes, which I believe was a basal sauropodomorph, which is pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Do 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 do. That might be all I can add. Yeah, I think that's all I can add from here. You know, Titan, that genuinely does not surprise me. That just not that does not surprise me at all. I haven't gone hunting for mushrooms in forever. I did it a couple times growing up. It was always fun. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of mushrooms popping up around my town recently. We've had a ton of rain, and the mushrooms, like their population, just exploded. So this poor suffering creature. Yeah, it was fun. Hey, Caden, if you want to join again, your camera is on, just to let you know. You do need to connect your mic.
I'm just
There we go.
I'm just here to say goodnight. Sorry for dipping out there.
You're fine. Have a good night, man.
Night. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that makes sense to me, Titan. I don't know if the mushrooms I'm seeing are okay to eat, though. Let's see. I guess if you're a mushroom connoisseur, they're small and brown in color, with, I think, a darker brown top lightening towards the edges of the cap. I haven't seen the gills, but they have a white stalk. And I think they're... the smaller ones are about the size of a $50 coin. And the larger ones can be about the diameter of a golf ball, I want to say. I have no idea if any of that helps narrow them down. They also seem... They grow in the grass, not in the shade. And they like to grow by sidewalks. For some reason. Huh? Oh, wait. Wait. What's low on health here? Oh, the Leonellosaura? I thought that was all the compies. Wait, you don't have any leaves? I could have sworn I added leaves. Did you just get scared of the leafy area? Or... Whoops. Yeah, let's fix that. I guess I want some rocks. We can add some rocks. But yeah, I don't know if any of that helps with an ID, Titan. If it does, cool. I'd be curious to know if they're edible at all or not. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair, Titan. Question. Okay. What methodologies and workflows are bioacoustic scientists nowadays using to reconstruct soft tissue and analyze dino vocalization? Okay, first I will say that's a good question. I am curious about a lot of that myself. I am not an expert. I'm not a bioacoustic scientist. Um, if I had to guess, or at least, well, guess isn't the right word. From what I've heard, if I understand it correctly, big if there, so take this with a huge grain of salt. Sometimes with some dinosaurs, we can get lucky, and they'll have a crest or other resonating chamber in their skull that we can just make a copy of and blow air through. The most famous one for this is Parasaurolophus. I'm not sure if it's been done with other ornithopods too, but maybe. If it has, I'd be interested in hearing about it. But in that case, we just blow air through the crest and hear what it sounds like. Parasaurolophus, case in point, sounds like a big old tuba, which is pretty neat if you ask me. Also, sorry, I'm just trying to think of a time period or place I haven't shown off yet, and I kind of want to do a late Cretaceous place. Like, I know it says Triassic Park, but they all look the same, kinda. I mean, there's a few differences, but I want to do more. So we're gonna do a late Cretaceous southern North America, because there's a lot of really neat dinosaurs from that place and time. Yeah, that's totally fair. Totally fair, Titan. I completely understand. To finish answering your question, though, Tolkienomics, for the dinosaurs we can't just be lucky with, we have to extrapolate a bit. And by that I mean we look at what their closest living relatives sound like, which for dinosaurs are birds and crocodilians. So like alligators and crocodiles. And we have to just extrapolate from there, usually incorporating structures of the skeleton that may be indicative of different sounds. Case in point, there was an ankylosaurid that was analyzed a few years ago, or maybe last year. Anyway, and they found that it had an intact, I'm not sure if it was a larynx or a syrinx, but it had an intact voice box. So we know what sounds that specific ankylosaur was capable of. Finding that kind of tissue is extremely rare, though. That is a genuine 1 in a million find. So, not sure how many more like that have been found. But unfortunately, a lot of our dino voice work, I guess you could call it, kind of based on vibes again, like I said earlier. We just can't know everything. And that sucks, but it's also life. Let's see. For this environment, there were small ornithopods. So we're actually an Elasmarian, now that I think about it. So we're going to have Dryosaurus stand in for that. Again, talking about vibes-based habitat reconstruction. I don't know what the paleo environment was like for this area beyond like the rough kinds of dinosaurs that were there. So we'll see how that goes. Also, I do have a mod for the Alamosaurus. Go figure. I forgot I downloaded that, honestly. We'll see how that looks. Hopefully it looks okay. Um, I okay. The game decided to add in the water after a couple seconds. No, I kind of like that look. We'll do like a flooded forest. And let's go ahead and start letting out the dinosaurs. These little cuties. Yeah, no problem, tokenomics. Like I said, I don't study this stuff. So if the actual people who work on this say something different in their papers, because I know there are papers about this, I would trust them, not me. But it's a really interesting topic, and it's an important part of bringing dinosaurs back to life, I guess you could say. When you're designing sounds for a game or a movie like this, though, I think you can get a bit more creative than just when you're like writing a scientific paper. Because in the end, it is an entertainment product, kind of. So you want to make it so that people enjoy what they're seeing and what they're hearing, even if it may not be 100% accurate. Like maybe I'm weird, but I feel like wow, I'm a good talker. I feel like the feeling of a creature is more important than the accuracy of it in paleo media, at least for the most part. Like, obviously, you can go too far. Well, kinda, sort of. You can hypothetically go too far. But as long as people know what your work, like what you made, like as long as they can recognize it, or at least guess at it, and it feels right, then I think you did your job. And that can be easy to do, it can be hard to do. Depends on the animal. Also, I have made a ton of Edmontosaurus because these things were everywhere and there were so many of them. Ooh, wait. Ooh. Sorry, I really like this one. That really dark fake. I like this one. I'm not sure what it is about it, but I really love this skin. You're just blank Death Valley. Okay. Okay, noted. Dang, that's pretty. And now, Alamosaurus. By the way, tokenomics. I could be misremembering, so I'm just gonna ask. I forget, are you a creationist? I feel like I've seen you in Standing for Truth's chat, but I could be wrong on that. If I am, I apologize. I'm just curious. If you are, you're welcome to join. I like talking with people about dinosaurs, be they evolutionists, quote unquote, or creationists. I just think they're neat, even if we don't agree on how old they are. And you know what? Like this Alamosaurus is from the game. And I kind of like it. Yeah, it looks a little kind of. It looks kind of goofy with all these spikes, but I don't know. I kind of like it. Like it feels right. You know, looks cool. And then there's the modded version, which I mean, definitely toned down, but it's not bad either. Has better feet, though. Definitely has better feet. That's kind of in my head now after talking with Dapper. Oh, right. And I do want to say uh, if anyone wants to name a dinosaur on the screen or on the stream or any other prehistoric creature, there are links to donate to a GoFundMe I have going right now to do field work this summer. $5 and you can name a dinosaur. Whatever you want that won't get me in trouble. I mean, there's not a ton that would, but you know. Oh, right, I was going down, not up. Montosaurus. I think Struthia mimus actually should fit in here. And we can add Gigantoraptor in here. The cursed chicken, as it were, because we have eggs from these guys in that area, which is horrifying. In your own camp between young Earth creationists and evolutionists. I mean, that's interesting. Like I said, if you're interested in coming on and talking, you're welcome. I won't judge you. I won't judge you if you do or don't. So I think I'll add in a Moros Intrepidus here. For those who don't know, this is a small Tyrannosaurid. And we can have it stand in for a juvenile T-Rex. Yeah, it's a very, very small and young Tyrannosaur. Or old, sorry, not young, old Tyrannosaurid. Just kind of neat. Hello, Robin. Hope you're well. Here, we have smaller Oviraptorosaurs too, so we can go ahead and have Oviraptor Philoceratops. And let's do some Pachycephalosaurus. I really like Pachycephalosaurus. They're another one of my closet favorite dinosaurs. Or at least favorite group of dinosaurs, Pachycephalosaurids are. They're really neat. Let's see, what else? What else? What else? We're not doing Tarbosaurus because another large, famous Tyrannosaurid lives here. Oh, geez. That sounds rather frightening, Robin. The tornadoes have been... I don't think they're... Actually, a couple weeks ago, there were a few near me, which was kind of unnerving. I don't do well with tornadoes. Like, my whole family doesn't. So it had me on edge, I'm not going to lie. But glad to hear you're safe. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Or, sorry. Yeah, that's fine, Tokenomics, if you can't make it tonight. I will be streaming with Mr. Anderson this Friday for a fundraiser. I'm not sure if he'd have you on. Just because it's his channel, I don't know what his policy on guests is, but if he's willing to have you on, have you on. You're welcome to come on and talk. We're gonna be discussing my latest debate with Kent Hovind, which, I mean, if you're in between evolutionists and creationists, that's kind of a meeting of the minds, I suppose. So I'll just scatter these meat feeders around so there's plenty of meat. And we can see this Oviraptor model, which I don't remember installing. Oh, that's cute. Oviraptor is such an interesting dinosaur. Because for anyone who knows anything about Latin, oviraptor, egg thief. The species name is Philoceratops, or lover of ceratopsians. So, it stole ceratopsian eggs. It appears to be inaccurate now, though, because the first oviraptor was found on a nest of eggs, and it kind of looked like it was holding on to them. So, it was, I think it was either the teens or the 20s. Oh, these are modded. Oh, they look nice. It was either the teens or the 20s, so they figured and assumed it was stealing the eggs and got killed in the act. But then we found more of them, including eggs that looked just like those eggs that were open, like cracked with the embryo still inside. And they were overwrapped embryos. So we now know that they were actually very protective parents, apparently. Dedicated enough to stay on the nest even during a sandstorm. Which is pretty neat, honestly. But, anyway, just to finish that off, tokenomics, I am always open to learning more things, and I am always open to being proved wrong. However, I do feel like if you're going to challenge something as well supported in science as evolution and an old Earth, I feel you do need extraordinary evidence to really challenge it, which I have personally not seen yet. I am open to seeing it because I always want to learn more about the world, and if I'm wrong about something, I want to know it, so I can not be wrong in the future. But as of yet, I have not seen anything. Always happy to chat, though. And always happy to learn. Anyway, Torosaurus here. It's a neat dinosaur. As you can probably guess by the 3 horns and the crest, it's a ceratopsian, and apparently a semi-close relative of Triceratops. I'll add some of the base game ones too, because why not? But they're a lot rarer than Triceratops. In fact, excuse me, I don't believe we have any Triceratops from the southern US, or at least we don't have many. Yeah, that's totally fair, tokenomics. The anoxic zones. That was definitely a thing with T-Rock, because of course it was. If you can't tell, I'm not the biggest fan of T-Rock for several reasons. But the anoxic zones were certainly a discussion that he didn't want to give any ground on. I can explain it as many times as people are curious about it, though, and I'm happy to do so, because they occur today, and animals fall to the bottom, and they rot slowly enough for soft tissues to be preserved. We've seen it. Maybe not in real time, but in time lapse, we see it, especially in areas with a lot of sedimentation, which is pretty cool. Because we also see it in the fossil record. What was I looking up? I was looking up Triceratops distribution. Does it go as far south? Torosaurus distribution. Does it go far south enough to be included? I mean, it goes decently far south. Yeah, it goes decently far south. We can have some Triceratops. Yeah, we'll go with some Prorsus. Triceratops Prorsus, because we're at the end of the Cretaceous. T-Rex manufacturing background. Typically reserved for water treatment plants. I mean, that's fair, maybe for pure anoxic zones. Yeah, we can have some troodontids, too. Sorry, I'm just adding these in. Purely anoxic zones are rare, but they do occur, and they occur in nature is the important thing. And they're not super hard to find if you know where to look. There are a few different ways to get a good anoxic zone. Either you can have something like an algae bloom, where you just have a ton of life exploding at once, and then you have a ton of rotting at one place. Because the microorganisms that devour the rotting flesh, they use oxygen, so they burn it all up, and it leaves a very anoxic zone that can last for a while, because what little oxygen there is almost instantly gobbled up by the bacteria, so they can keep doing their thing. If I recall correctly, there were problems with this happening at in Louisiana, where the Mississippi River meets the Gulf of Mexico, or at least it was a big worry. Anyway, another way you can get basically anoxic zones. Oh, you're fine, Tolkienomics. This is a hangout and chat stream anyway. Anyway, the other common way to get it is to just have a really deep body of water with a surface with a fairly calm surface. Because oxygen and other gases diffuse into water, but they do it at a fairly consistent rate as long as there's not much activity at the top. Meaning that fish and other organisms that live in the water will be using up the oxygen that's available to them. And because of that steady diffusion rate, it can happen that oxygen's used up faster than it is provided in some areas. And those areas become anoxic. They have a lack of oxygen. So you don't get a lot of oxygen-using bacteria in them or other things. And that significantly slows down decay. It doesn't halt it completely, but it super slows it down. Yeah. Red algae blooms, those are an issue. I didn't know you were from New Orleans, Titan. That's neat. I've always wanted to visit. Definitely not during hurricane season, though. Also, I could be wrong, but I feel like the head is too small for this model. Like, Triceratops has a frighteningly massive head. I could be wrong, though. And now, Tyrannosaurus, possibly Micranzus. Apparently that's a question mark right now, but possibly different species of Tyrannosaurus, which is pretty cool, is on screen right now. A modded version, but it's here. It's big. Yeah, that's Fair Titan. And actually, the warmth can be a big thing too, because warmer water allows gases to escape faster than colder water because the molecules are moving around more, and that can increase the danger, like increase your chances of getting it in an anoxic zone. Well, T-Rex appears, well, to be mostly happy, I guess. Oh, the Compsognathus are living at 0% health. Oh, those poor things. There is no escape from the torment of being a Compsognathus. Oh. Wasn't born in New Orleans, but grew up there. Well, fair enough. I've always lived in smaller towns. I mean, even the town I live in now is a few 10,000s of people. And to me, that's a huge town. But according to other people, that's tiny. And again, I'm from a town of about 2,000. I think like 2,200 now. So I could be a little biased. Oh wow, they've really started to spread out. Oh, we got a lonely Pachycephalosaurus. It's isolated from the herd. You know, I wonder if Stygimoloch and Dracorex were also changed in whatever that mod was. I'm curious. Stygimoloch. Let's see. I want to see. And Dracorex. For any non-dino nerds who are curious, the next two dinosaurs I'm going to release have been proposed to be just juvenile juvenile versions. Where is it? Draco. There it is. Versions of another of Pachycephalosaurus, which is kind of neat. Kind of sad if true, because they both have really good names, but kind of neat. I mean, that's Fair Titan. I am from a pretty humid area, but, well, actually pretty warm and humid, especially in recent years. But I have no idea what it's like down there. Oh, no, this is the same Stygimoloch. Okay. I mean, fair enough. It's not a bad design. I was just curious if they changed it. South in March. Okay, noted. Or just like during winter. Whoop. Camera wasn't sure what to do there for a second. I kind of like this one, though. Like gray coloring, but with a little bit of blue on the face. It's like subtle, but pretty. And I like it. Consider warm. Pretty common in the summer to hit 90 or low hundreds. Okay, they didn't change the Dracorex either, which, I mean, fair enough. It's actually pretty accurate. It's pretty neat. Dance-sphere. Oh, this one also has blue highlights. That's neat. Anyway, I was talking about Dracorex and Stygimoloch, how they're proposed to be what are called junior synonyms of Pachycephalosaurus. And at least currently in the literature, I believe they are. So they're currently invalid, but I've heard some rumblings that might be changing in the future. Anyway, so dinosaurs tend to change, like their bodies tend to change a decent amount as they age. Their legs usually get shorter relative to their body. Their heads get smaller. Features on the heads change. The arms get smaller. Unless you're quadrupedal, then they stay fairly consistent. And your tail kind of gets longer, which, your proportions change. That's pretty normal for something growing up. The big change for the Pachycephalosaurids, you're close to the building, or at least what's been proposed, is that the juveniles had really spiky heads, probably because, a big hard dome probably isn't going to deter predators too much when you weigh like 20 pounds. But the spikes shrunk as the head, as the rounded part of the head grew. Though the spikes do still get kind of big in Stygimoloch. And then when they are fully mature, just interesting outline there. And then when they're fully mature, the spikes are mostly reabsorbed into the head, and the dome is extra big for headbutting, which we have pathologies, so injuries on the skull, that make it pretty likely they were butting heads with each other. Which is really neat that we actually have some evidence for it. It's not just, it has a crash helmet for a face. No, they're also injured like crash helmets. Anyway, if I understand what I've heard in those rumblings, it sounds like Dracorex may still be a juvenile of a Pachycephalosaurid, and then Pachycephalosaurus and Stygimoloch might just be different species of the same animal. So, there's a super spiky one and a not so spiky one. Which, if that's true, that is still really neat. That we have such distinct versions that are so closely related from the same time preserved. But we don't know for sure, and it might be a while before we do. And that's just how paleontology is. So apparently these guys need more nuts in their life. More nuts. Nuts. We'll just give them all the nuts, I guess. Because, Alamosaurus is a cool dino. It's big, it's bulky, but I think it's cool. And I don't think there's really much else to add to our little Hell Creek. Oh. There go the Troodontids. Oh, and the T-Rexes are just hanging out over here, away from everything. Okay. Huh. They move in herds. Apparently they move in herds. Oh, right. This modded version of a T-Rex comes with... Oh, something's low on health again. This modded version of a T-Rex comes with a juvenile version. So can add some teenage T-Rexes in here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's T-Rex Stan. There. We'll add a couple of juveniles. Oh, cool, a free bike. It's pretty neat. I hope she got it legally. Select eggs. Yep, T-Rex juvenile. Jeez, even though they're juveniles, they still cost full price. Which, I mean, unlimited money, but still, it's the principle of the thing. You have to feed them as they grow up too. We can speed up time a little bit. This is one feature I do like about the game. Like, you can just speed through the tasks. All right, you can release a couple of them. Oh, so it doesn't. Okay, I guess the camera just does not want to work sometimes. Herbivorous teethy boys? Which ones do you mean? There are quite a few dinosaurs, actually, that could fit that description. Okay, do we get to see? Yeah, here we get to see the animation. And the dramatic music. Huh. I think the juveniles are on the Herrerasaurus rig. Which, I mean, that's kind of neat. Like, it's different. Alrighty. Yep, we have our Alamosaurus. This one has to climb a hill for its water. How's the other one doing? Oh, it's panicking because there are T-Rexes on the loose. Oh boy. Oh, poor thing. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What is low health over here? Where are the Simasuchus on low health? Oh, they need fiber. Okay, apparently that's enough. Yeah, they didn't. What do you need? You need water and rock. Explore your surroundings. This game sometimes. Ooh. Dino trivia questions. Yeah, I think I've got. I can go another few. Oh, of course, one died. I don't know. Yeah, I've got time. I'm not in a hurry tonight. Probably wrap up in the next half hour-ish, though. All right, and then what to make in this area? Advanced equipment, additional bays, and accelerated growth. Oh, there's a few more. Ow. Dinos / other creatures. Can do early Cretaceous Europe. That's a place that doesn't get a whole lot of love. But there's some pretty neat stuff up there. All right. Go ahead, Grayson. All right. Thanks, Tokenomics. And like I said, you're welcome anytime. I try to be polite. Sometimes I probably fail, but I try. And anyone is welcome as long as they try the same. Okay. What do we do? What do we do? Early Cretaceous. I think we would still be weeding out the last of the stegosaurids. Because there's the last stegosaurids, I believe, are from Asia, but I think we have some material in Europe. So I can add one of those in. That'll be interesting. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, that's fair, Grayson. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I'm not really in a hurry. Can do Sorapelta. It's an interesting. No, not Sorapelta. That is true, Titan. Thank you for shouting out the fundraiser that I'm awful at shouting out. Yes, for $5, you can name a dinosaur. All I ask is that it's not something that'll get me banned off of YouTube. Which, I mean, there's not a whole lot that could do that, but I'm sure something could. So, be nice, don't be too cheeky. But you can name a dinosaur. Just make sure you @ me in the chat here, so I know, because I don't get notifications for every donation for some reason. Let's do Polacanthus. Here. A lot of armored dinosaurs, I'm noticing. We can do a Notosaurid. I mean, that's fair, Titan. Euphemismosaur. Yes, I suppose it is. Well, thank you, Vamsy and Jessica Manda in the chat. And we can have this guy here as a basal ceratopsian. Begse. I think it's from Mongolia. Well, and to Vamsy, Jessica Manda, if you want to name a dinosaur, just let me know what to name. Nice lunar regolith. Nice. Oh boy. I know we have Notosaurids from this area, so we can have a Notosaurus. That's why he's here, or that's why that's here. Oh dear. Titan is having fun, and that frightens me. And here we go. Werosaurus. I really like these guys. They have weird, like, eyebrow ridges, but I really like them. They have kind of nice dinner plate shaped plates. And I like the stripes on the tail. I really do. Like, there's a lot of stegosaurs in this game, but I feel like these are a good one. I am curious about the hooked beak they get, though. Curious where that inspiration came from, but it's not too bad. And, you know, we've done different water systems. Oh, wow, okay, so this... Okay, and I guess we're having different terrain modes for every one of these places. Like, it never wants to deposit water at the height, except for right then when I say it. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that, but it has... The game has decreed that it will handle things that way. We have a tapioca weasel. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yo, what up? How's it going?
Not going too awful. Just making dinos.
I can
Just
see
felt like
that.
streaming a bit tonight.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been able to actually join any of your streams.
Yeah. I mean, what's new in life? What's new for the weasels?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just trying to get my lasers to behave and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see, what size particles do you work with for your physics?
I am an atomic physicist, so I work with large amounts of individual atoms, and not in the trivial way that normally is always true.
Okay.
Hold on. I know that I can tell that my volume. I feel like my volume is low, but I might be wrong.
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, that's good.
Not
Sorry.
sure.
No problem.
You're okay. If Titan. If tap sounds too low, folks, let us know. If I sound too loud, let me know. I'm just releasing more dinos.
Right. So what? I saw that you were streaming, and so what happened was I was watching another thing because I've been watching this trial on YouTube for this lady named Karen Reed, who totally got framed by the cops. It might have been incompetence and not malice.
Is that the Mormon lady?
No, not her. She's totally guilty. Which Mormon lady? The one who abused her kids or the one who killed her kids?
The one I haven't heard about the one that killed her kids. The one that chained up her kids because they kept asking for water.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about you're talking about Ruby Frankie.
Yes, her.
Yeah. So the other ones are Lori and Chad Daybell. I don't know if that rings a bell. But
it does. I don't remember. It does.
They were also they were like more crazy offshoot LDS though, as opposed to LDS who also happen to be like abusers. They the Ruby Frankie thing I don't think was particularly motivated and driven that much by like wacky religious beliefs, but the Daybell case, they think that they thought that, or pretended at least to think that their children were overcome by demons and that they had to,
Yeah.
But the case that I'm watching right now is in Boston, and it's just a normal woman in I think her in mid to late 30s or something. I have no idea. And her boyfriend ended up dead in the snow outside of a house that she dropped him off at. And he was a Boston cop, and the house that he was outside of was also the house of a Boston cop. And it is the biggest farce of a prosecutor's case that I have seen so far. They're 7 days in and have honestly, if they had just done nothing, they would have been more convincing than what they actually have. Whereas the defense has just been oh yeah, no, this entire investigation has been a farce.
So they probably thought they had a really solid case, so they didn't put any work into it.
Yeah, or they don't really care about. So if you look at the injuries, and we haven't gotten to this part of the actual case. I had never heard of this case, by the way, before opening statements. A bunch of channels that I follow, a bunch of LawTube channels, and they all have been covering it because it's amazing. Because the opening statement, the prosecutor just made no sense at all. Oof. It was just a rambling blah of names for an hour and a half or 45 minutes. I don't know, but a long time. I just skipped through it. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I have no idea what they're even trying to say. There's no through line. There's no narrative. They're just like, we're going to say a lot of names and you should convict her. And then the defense got up and their first words were, Karen Reed was framed. And then they proceeded to be very convincing in that argument.
I see.
They processed the murder scene, which was in the front yard. There was a lot of snow everywhere because there was like a blizzard. They processed it with a leaf blower.
Okay, so I was reading something. What?
The police officers
processing.
The police officers processed the crime scene with a leaf blower. You're right. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry. One last time, just in case I misheard you, please.
So the dead body was found on a bunch of on and covered with a bunch of snow and stuff, and they got the ambulance people there and carted him off, and then there was specks of blood and whatnot, and maybe there was bits of glass and all evidence. There's evidence scattered all in throughout the snow, but it's still snowing, and they feel like they have to blow the snow away for reasons that I do not understand. And so they borrowed a leaf blower from a neighbor and went over and blew off the snow to reveal evidence that wasn't blown away. They processed the crime scene with a leaf blower on a low setting, but still.
Oh, pain. Pain. Yeah. On a slightly less painful note, the GoFundMe just got a donation.
Fantastic.
$50 from the person who piped up in chat earlier. Thank you, Vamsy Jessica Amanda, which sounds like a joint account. Thank you. If you would like to name 10 dinosaurs, feel free. And also, people have probably noticed the camera's been stuck on this little guy for the last few minutes. I think he's really cute. And I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to interrupt you talking about the case.
I'm very rambly. You should always feel free to interrupt me. Worst case scenario, I will completely forget what I was saying, and in that case, it couldn't have been that important anyway.
I mean, we're all kind of rambly. Oh, not much. Just admiring a really handsome fella. And once again, thank you, Vamsy Jessica Amanda, for the donation. Very much thank you.
I was listening to Tapioca Weasel describe that case. I had not heard that case. It my God. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, every single gear and cog in this system of justice was just rusting and falling off at the hinges at every step. From the first people on the scene of the murder to handling the investigation to the lawyers at trial.
So let me guess, you did a quick Google and
No. I know I haven't Googled anything yet. I was
okay.
You were saying,
totally.
Is it looking like these parents did you say that these parents thought that their kids were infested by demons and so they
that was a
killed them?
different one? No, that case is being prosecuted competently. That is a completely different. We were talking about a few different cases at the beginning.
Yeah.
The one with all of the malfeasance. The one with all of the malfeasance, I think what actually happened, the scenario that sounds most likely to me, is an accidental dog attack, frankly. But the one with the parents who killed their kids, so that's the Lori and Chad Daybell case, and you should totally check it out. It's wacky. It is. Lori Daybell already got convicted. so Lori and Chad Daybell, like that, they were each like each other's like third or fourth marriage, and from when Chad Daybell's spouse Tammy, who he is currently being he is currently on trial for her murder and also the murder of Lori Daybell's two children. His wife Tammy died, and then 15 days later he got married to Lori.
Wow,
Oh,
that's a serious rebound.
Yeah,
I
and
guess,
and
yeah.
all of the
Well,
time they're
yeah.
like, we're destined for each other because you and I have reincarnated like 31 and 29 times respectively, and we've been married in like 18 of those previous lives.
Oh, so wait, were they like new agey?
They were whatever the hell they are. They were their whole own brand of Nutter Butters.
I'm interested now.
Okay.
But you had me worried at first, Tap, because I thought you were saying that the case where these people thought their children were demonic and killed them. I thought that was what was being prosecuted
No,
so incompetently, and
no,
then I was thinking that
no.
that couple could get out and get away scot-free with killing their kids. So I was like, oh,
No. They're one of them has already been convicted. They actually did not have the trials together. It was a whole thing like a year or two back. This case has been dragging on for like a while.
okay. And Doc, did you say that was a $50 donation? Isn't the reward for that getting to pick a song on the digging playlist?
Oh, you're right. It is. Crap. Yeah, it is. If you're still listening, Vamsy, Jessica, Amanda, yeah, it is.
Oops. Well,
I
they
choose
have
Red Solo.
they have the
Cup.
right to pick a song if they so choose.
Actually, I don't know if I have the right. That was not a condition when I made my donation.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, if you made a $50 donation, I think
you know
should
what?
do that right too.
Just for you, Tap, I will honor it. Also, because you were the second of 2 donations that happened before I had that stream.
Hey. All right. So, do you want to take Do you want to take a minute to think about your choice, or do you already have one picked for adding to the playlist?
Oh man. Well, see, I was going for a joke there where I was going to say Red Solo Cup, and that was going to lead me into how they collected the crime scene blood in the snow by scooping it up with red Solo Cups and then putting it in a grocery bag.
That was a deep cut.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So in the case that isn't about the Daybell case with the dead kids, that's in Idaho. The one where the prosecution is just completely, just everything about this is a farce, except for the excellent defense attorneys. They are amazing. That one's in Boston, and in that one,
really quick, I just want to say this is a modded Megalosaurus. This is beautiful.
It's so
anyway,
beautiful. I want to see that one and Dapper fight.
I think this would pull it
Oh boy. Anyway, red Solo Cups?
Yeah. So after they processed the crime scene with a leaf blower, after they did that, they went through and they were like, okay, we've got, red spots in the snow. It looks like a red liquid has dropped in the snow next to this dead body. So obviously that's blood, right? And they got to collect it. And it does raise questions of how do you do this? Because snow is not permanent. And in conditions where it's blowing around and stuff, honestly, I think the best thing to do is just put up a bunch of little flags and stuff and just cover it all and hope it doesn't warm up anytime soon so that it all stays frozen.
I'm surprised there's not
alternatively, you can shovel it into a bag after taking lots of pictures.
That too. Yeah, but a proper crime scene bag. But they didn't want to use a proper crime scene bag for reasons that have not been explained. And so instead, and they didn't have any with them because they didn't bring any when like they came from the place. The like police unit. Oh, by the way, this group is like not a CSI team. Like they normally don't process their own crime scenes. Nothing about this makes any sense. But they didn't want to go back because it's a full like 4.5 minutes away. And that's too far. So instead they asked around and found a neighbor who had thankfully at least this went their way, unopened bag of Solo cups. Red Solo cups. And so they used those Solo cups, which they called plastic evidence cups, to like scoop up the snow. And then if they had done that, if they had used the Solo cup to scoop up the snow, it's already not like great because those haven't come from a forensically sterile environment. But like I get it, like I couldn't do better, but that's not my job. It's their job.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing that there are not more professional procedures like in place for this kind of thing in like cities where it regularly snows.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure there should be.
So the detective who with like I don't know, like 24 or 34 or something years of experience, he certainly looked like he had 44. I don't know, but he was up there and he was like supervising it, and he obviously had a lot of experience with processing crime scenes in the snow, by which I mean none. He had literally never done it before.
Wow. And I just want to say like people are going off about like the $50 donations, getting to choose a playlist. Guys, do not abuse that power, please. As someone that is also going to have to be listening to this playlist, like I noticed that everybody's suggestions are like Rick rolls and like just ride a cowboy, save a horse, or like I'm like, guys, like why are you doing this to us?
I mean, I was gonna do Red Solo Cup because of that whole bit.
I mean, listen, like
great.
Well, I can English. There are a rule or two for the music. First, keep in mind, I will be in rural Wyoming, which is a fairly red state. So,
yeah, but it's mostly empty though.
Yeah, we're gonna be like in the middle of nowhere. Like, who's gonna be hearing this music, Doc?
Still, please don't pick something that could make someone want to use me or Grayson for target practice.
That would be appreciated.
Other than that, have fun, pretty much.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind, please.
I don't feel great about it, but all right. Yeah, I wish us luck. So anyways, I was because this is a dinosaur themed stream, I did notice that I don't know if you guys know, but I'm like a massive fan of Jeopardy, and this week Jeopardy had a dinosaurs category, so I thought it could be fun to potentially go through some of those and see how many you can get. I'm a little bit disappointed in my performance. I was like really happy to see this category, and I got like 3 out of the 5. So if you guys can do better than me, you win.
Hold on, I need a handicap.
Surprise.
I need a handicap. You got to let me go first for all these because
you could go first and then Doc.
Because Doc is like I'm not going to know anything that he doesn't know.
If we have time after this, I don't think this was this week, but I think last week Jeopardy had a physics category, and then we could do the reverse where Doc goes first and then you go.
I mean, hey, that sounds good to me. And yeah, I was thinking of cutting kind of soon, but I can go longer.
Well, there's only 5 questions per category, so it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
Okay, we can start with the dinosaurs one. Tap, you ready?
It is Boogie.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is for 400. Like other bipedal hadrosaurs, the Anatosaurus had this feature, just like the platypus. Let me know if you need me to repeat it.
A duck. What is a duck bill?
Yep, a duck bill. Ding, ding, ding. So that's 400 for Tappy.
Sorry, bipedal hadrosaur caused me. No.
Or
It's
Well-
a facultative biped. It is primarily quadrupedal.
So hadrosaurs, describing
It's
them
also
as
not called
bipedal.
Anatosaurus anymore.
Oh, so big no. So Anatosaurus is not considered a hadrosaur anymore?
Well, it's not called Anatosaurus. It's Edmontosaurus.
Oh, I've heard of Edmontosaurus, but I didn't know that Anatosaurus had been like wrapped up in that designation.
Yeah, it's a complicated history, but yes.
Oh, so
It is.
maybe was Anatosaurus originally thought of as bipedal, and maybe they're just like talking about a dinosaur, a species that hasn't been, that's like dated.
As far as I know, it's kind of gone back and forth, but the
Wasn't
consensus for a long time has been they were primarily quadrupedal. They could walk on two legs, but they
Okay.
would have preferred four.
Okay, so
Also,
So
we
far-
have Dryosaurs bleeding in here.
so
I'm at
far,
400.
Vandy is in the lead by 400.
I'm
So
crushing
you need
it.
him to miss so you can get a shot, Doc.
That was the 400?
Yeah, that was the easiest question. Yeah. So now
Wait,
we go to the
400
800.
I thought the easiest was 100.
This was in Double Jeopardy. So now we go to the 800. The way the human-sized Troodon incubated its eggs provides a link to these, which evolved from one line of dinos. Need me to repeat it?
Yeah, repeat it.
The way the human-sized Troodon incubated its eggs provides a link to these, which evolved from one line of dinos.
What are chickens?
What are birds?
Yes,
Was I too specific?
you were too
Damn it.
specific. It's just birds. I was gonna say, can you be more general?
I thought that was too easy. I was like, no way, it's birds. Come on.
I think sometimes in Jeopardy they'll say, "Can you be more specific?" But I don't think I've ever heard them say, "Can you be more general?"
Also, I fear I'm gonna have to nitpick every one of these questions.
No, this is what we live for.
Bro, this is what we live for, okay? You're talking to the
Troodon
only
is-
person?
Okay,
You're talking-
Troodon is, at least as far as I know, currently not valid. It's also not the size of a human. It's approximately 10 feet. What's commonly called Troodon, aka this Stenonychosaurus, is commonly about 10 feet long and 3 feet tall. Probably weighed at most 80 to 90 pounds, if that.
I mean,
But it would have brooded like a bird.
10 feet long, 3 feet tall. I mean, that's what I got in my pants. I don't know what you want from it. Stop.
Okay, so far, Doc has 800, Tab has 400. All right, this is the $1,200 question. The most complete skeleton of a T-Rex was found in 1990 in South Dakota and is now housed at this Natural History Museum in Chicago.
Oh my god! I'm from near Chicago.
How about
I
this?
swear to
Tab?
God,
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
What is the Field Museum?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Before that, it was the Brachiosaurus. They actually might have that also in the atrium. It's amazing. Zoo is amazing.
So Vandy takes back the lead with 1,600 to Doc's 800.
Yeah, they moved the Brachiosaurus outside.
So nothing you need to clarify on that one, Doc?
No, it's the Field Museum. I've been there like 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
That's amazing.
I know Sue. I had a CD of Sue songs as a kid.
Wow.
Like the title was Sue the T-Rex music.
Oh my god. Did you find it
like
soothing?
Is
Okay,
this Sue
I
right
will
here?
move on to the
Fun
next
having Grayson on, folks.
$1,500 question. Vandy. In 1822, Gideon and Mary Mantell found the first remains of the iguanodon. Well, actually, just these, the source of the don part in iguanodon.
shoot. I genuinely have no idea what the dawn refers to. I'm gonna have to guess.
Our teeth.
Yep, Doc got it. It's teeth.
It's also no
Man.
longer called iguanodon. I am having a problem with every question.
You
Oh,
didn't
well,
let
you
me
can have a
guess.
question with the Fields Museum.
Well, okay, that was the only one I didn't have a problem with. But
Yeah.
it is now called Mantellosaurus, which I am currently breeding. Though it's also called iguanodon in this game, but it's a reference, so close enough.
Wow. Admonish both Jeopardy and the game you're playing.
I feel like
Admonish.
if I killed Earl was here, she would yell at me for not knowing that dawn meant teeth.
Okay,
Have you
so
ever been to an orthodontist?
That's what now I understand. Like I put it together now, but I didn't know it before.
so Doc is in the lead now with 2,400 and Vandy has 1,600. So the last question in the category for 2,000. In 1888, Othniel Marsh gave a Montana discovery this 8-letter name. It had fewer horns than a more famous dino.
8-letter name?
Yes, 8 letters. It had fewer horns than a more famous dino did.
Monosaur.
Nope. Doc, you got it?
Damn it.
I actually don't.
I missed this one as well in the episode. It is just Ceratops.
Okay, because I knew I was like, okay, it they're talking about Triceratops and it only has one, but I couldn't think I didn't
Yeah.
know how many letters
I knew that they
Ceratops
were
had.
referring to the more famous dinosaur was
Monosaur is a good
Triceratops.
guess though, right?
Yeah, I knew that the
Right.
more famous dino was Triceratops, but I was like Ankylosaur, Stegosaur. None of those are 8 letters. Like I couldn't get. I was just like it's just literally just chopping the tri off a Triceratops.
Huh. Well, I mean, oh wow. Sorry, I will say, apparently it's dubious now, which does not surprise me because named by Marsh.
Yeah.
It's based on one horn and a fragment of. I think that's frill.
Wow. Wow. That does
Wait,
that doesn't
no,
really
never mind.
surprise me, though.
It's named on. It's named based on 2 horns and the what is it? The thing that attaches to the first vertebra from the skull.
The skull that attaches to the first vertebra. Am I right?
It doesn't surprise
Close
me.
enough.
I mean, these guys during the Bone Wars, like Marsh and Cope, were like just trying to like find as many new species as possible, and were willing to come up with as many new species as they could from whatever few bone fragments they could find as quickly as possible. Not a good
It's
time
not even
for
the
aliens,
worst
though.
one they had.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was the
So
dinosaur
many.
category. So since both of y'all missed the final question, then Doc wins that one.
Which doc? There's 2 docs.
Of DokDeino. So yeah,
Damn it.
2,400. You had 1,600. Do you want to continue this with the physics category? Is there time?
Yes, I do. Heck yes. Come on, let's
And
do
then,
it. Okay.
and then, sorry, can we just look up more dinosaur Jeopardy? Because I imagine other people have written some. Because that just sounds fun.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna release more T-Rex because why not?
Are
Okay.
there civilians that will be able to feed them?
Ah.
How does this game work?
So normally, yes, there are civilians, and the dinosaurs will eat them. I do not have that enabled, but I can enable it.
Is it like nutritionally detailed, or is it just like it ate food and now it's going to eat more food?
It ate meat. It ate meat. It has food. Let's see.
All right.
Okay, because go on.
Well, if you're ready for the physics questions. We can start
I'm
with.
always
Yes.
ready for physics questions, except for that one time in comps too.
Okay, so this time Doc has, a few seconds to come up with a reply here, like 5-10 seconds or whatever. First, he has first dibs. So DokDeino,
Mhm. Yes.
not just a whiz with a lever. Archimedes is said to have used this simple machine and cranks to drag a ship from land into the sea. So this simple machine and some cranks to
What is
oh, sorry.
what is a gear?
Nope. Tap.
What is a pulley?
Yes, pulley is correct.
I'm okay. Full disclosure,
That-
I was oscillating between gear and pulley there, and I was very much helped by the fact that Doc guessed first.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel that's almost more of a history question than a physics question, but
It's like
I'm
history
not
of
gonna fight
physics
it.
in a way, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just a big I'm a big Archimedes stan, so I knew
Well,
that.
I mean, everybody should be. Archimedes was. There are 4 mathematicians who are considered like the greatest mathematicians of all time. Typically, maybe there should be 5, but there's at least 4. And they are Archimedes, Newton, Euler, and Gauss. And
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
yeah, right. And Archimedes is the only one from antiquity and ancient times and whatever those words actually mean.
Well, I feel like so many of those guys, like Pythagoras and everyone are, and like Euclid are like, I mean, they're giants in the field, but like
They were
Euclid was kind of
teachers and
documenting a lot
compilers.
of what was already in the
Yeah.
milieu, and Pythagoras borrowed a lot from the East and Egypt. And
Yeah, exactly. Archimedes was a genius.
yeah, like he straight up like brute forced his way into like integral calculus, like more than like almost 2,000 years before Newton. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who did a lot of experiments with glass in the, I want to say the 1700s? He like discovered prisms, and that light came in different.
Newton
Well,
did a lot of that.
Well, I think that
Fresnel?
the father of optics is a Middle Eastern researcher, Al Hussein, I think, something like that. And I'm pretty sure that he worked with like camera obscura, prisms, all that stuff, and he was like one of the first to actually employ like something that would be recognizable as the scientific method. Like actually like positing a hypothesis that light is something that is a ray that travels to your eyes, and that's how you see, and then doing an experiment to test that hypothesis.
Yeah, the understanding that light does not emanate from the eyes was one that took a long time.
This guy was in like the 1100s, I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it was even earlier than that. I think maybe the 1000s. But anyways, we're getting way off the topic just on the first question.
Last thing, I have 2 different T-Rex accuracy mods going right now, and it's interesting. They're very close to one another, but there are subtle differences, and I kind of like that.
Wait, compare the 2 again.
Here's one. This is specifically based on Stan the T-Rex. Oh, sorry, it is raining outside.
I kind of like this one. It seems a bit more like plumper, which I imagine T-Rexes were.
I wonder if it was based on Sue.
There's not a cloud. There's barely a cloud in the sky. There's no rain there at all. What are you talking about?
It's more than my end. Anyway, what's the next question? That was a fun discussion. Also, my game is officially at like 10 frames a second, which is okay.
It was Al Haytham, not Al Hussein. Al Haytham. I just had to clarify that. Okay. Anyways,
and I'm gonna start a new park.
Okay,
because this one is dying.
So Tap got the $400 question, so he's at 2,000, and you're at 2,400, Doc. So here's the $800 question. In the late 1700s, James Watt coined this term that's equivalent to about 33,000 foot-pounds of work per minute.
What is a watt?
Hold
Nope.
on. Oh wait, no,
No,
sorry.
yeah,
I
he's
forgot
supposed to
we
go
switched.
first. Vandy, you got an answer?
No. He's supposed to go first.
Yeah, he did go. He guessed Watt.
What is a BTU?
Nope.
I have no
Horsepower.
idea. Oh, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yep. James Watt named horsepower. I also didn't get that one, so don't feel too bad.
I thought it would have been Watt.
Here's
as
the
well, but-
$1,200 question.
You
I
don't
think Watt would have
name
been way
things
too
after-
easy. It's like
You don't think? Also, you don't name things after yourself. Nobody does that.
I mean, in the
Okay,
1800s.
nobody in physics did that.
Are you
like-
sure?
Not. I am unaware of an example, but
Who named Newtons?
not Newton. I don't think. Maybe
Yeah, I don't think
he
Newton was
did.
like writing like this is Newton's first law.
I don't think
Anyways,
he.
I could go to
yeah.
the $1,200 question. So DokDeino. This is a 2-word distance from the center of a lens to a point where the light rays that pass through it converge. It's a 2-word distance.
What is an optic chiasma?
Nope. Tap.
What is the focal length?
Focal length is correct. So that's 12 for Tappy, taking him to the lead with 3,200 to Doc's 2,400. So the $1,600 question. This isotope, and this is for DokDeino, he has priority. This isotope of hydrogen, also called H3, has 1 proton and 2 neutrons in its nucleus.
What is tritium?
Yes, that is correct.
I have
Doc
a-
retakes the lead. So it
I have
will
a-
all come down to who gets this final question.
I have a tritium keychain, although I need to buy more because it's been like 8 years, and that's like 4 half.
Isn't that radioactive or?
It's alpha radiation, and it's inside a plastic capsule. So, fine.
Oh, so it can't get through it.
Yeah, because alpha radiation can't get through paper.
So Tap, it
Okay.
all comes down to this exciting trivia finale. This is the last question for all the marbles. You need to get this Dr. Tapioca Weasel to win it, or you lose. So DokDeino, are you ready to steal the question and win the game?
I think I'm ready to do a role play.
For $2,000 in made-up trivia money. The clue is named for a Scottish botanist. It is the random movement of microscopic particles in a fluid.
Damn it.
I
I'm
don't
trying to
know.
Really?
Yeah,
What
I'm
is
sure I
Brownie in
feel like an
motion?
idiot.
Brownie in motion is correct. Dr. Tapioca Weasel wins the Dinosaur and Physics Trivia Cup.
Because he had extra time for the dinosaurs. But fair enough.
Yep, Brownie in motion.
There was. I will admit there was not a time limit like established. Though, at no point did I push it. Like I waited there until you knew that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not complaining. Well, I am, but I'm not. It's not confusing.
Lunar
Also, I'm going to
Regulators
do
is
late Cretaceous South America because why not? I
just
have a
trying
lot.
to torment us. They said, how about the Jeopardy sports round that none of the contestants managed to get because everybody missed the sports round because it's a bunch of nerds, and I have to say I think that this group here would also miss all of those sports questions. I don't know.
No, I'm
anything
totally
else.
with you.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, so my best friend in like middle school and high school, my buddy Billy. Billy is a brilliant dude. Like, he was voted in our like senior superlatives or whatever in high school the most like the smartest by like literally everybody. But he also randomly has like a very deep knowledge of the NFL.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, there are definitely some like really
It's very
nerdy
strange.
intellectual people that like are really into sports. I mean, it definitely happens.
Yeah.
All right.
It's you would not guess it by looking at him though.
It's just
What?
not my
Trust
bag.
me. Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. We also like connected because he got me into it in watching professional StarCraft Brood War, which I've recently gotten back into because it's awesome.
Wow, so
But, you know.
you be watching professional StarCraft and like LawTube. These I'm finding out all kinds of new things about you, Tap.
Oh yeah, no, I watch a whole lot of different like things. I go through like phases on YouTube.
Yeah, same. Weird enough, a few months ago, I had a big law phase. That was before I ever met. Wow, my brain. Before I ever met Mr. Anderson.
Oh yeah, no, I need to talk with Mr. Anderson about all that because I love Mr. Anderson's stuff. Like, Mr. Anderson goes in and he breaks it down, and that's the reason I love the law content so much, is it's systematic and clear, and it follows a set of, like, rules, and it's like science, but they make the rules instead of, like, finding the rules and describing them, you know?
I mean, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it is until people decide to like just torpedo the system because, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It is until it's not.
That's it. How about some more Dino Jeopardy questions?
More Dino
Sounds like
Jeopardy.
Um,
How many so this is a genuine question. I don't know the answer. What is the current status of Brontosaurus and how many revisions and cycles has that gone through?
Ugh. Okay. Currently valid. Revisions, I want to say 2, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's not that many, but like still, I remember them both being kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so I mean it's not a super complicated story, so we can go over it quick. Basically, it was the Bone Wars, and I believe it was Marsh named Apatosaurus and a very similar dinosaur that he named Brontosaurus. Now again, they are very similar. So similar, in fact, that researchers in the either late 1800s or early 1900s decided, you know what? They're similar enough. We'll just synonymize them. And Apatosaurus was named first, so it has priority going by the arbitrary rules that we have for taxonomy.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta have
Apatosaurus.
rules.
Yeah, you do, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, so Brontosaurus was considered invalid. Then, decades later, in the early 2010s, a group of scientists were doing a big systematic examination of a bunch of different dinosaurs. Well, actually, no. I think it was focusing on diplodocids, so which includes Apatosaurus. And they found enough data that they were comfortable saying, okay, Brontosaurus, or what used to be called Brontosaurus, is very similar to Apatosaurus. But it's different enough that it could also be considered its own genus. So we're gonna declare Brontosaurus to be valid again. And it's like riding the line of being similar enough to be another species or another genus entirely. But right now the evidence also there's a weird random why is there a random mound of dirt there? I just placed trees. What the hell? it's riding the line of the distinction, but it's close enough that most people are fine with it. Like, yeah, it's valid again.
Okay, so do y'all want 5 more dinosaur Jeopardy questions? Because people are asking me to do the sports category, but like I really don't want to do that. So unless one of them joins specifically to ask that one,
sports people.
I don't consent to that, and if you do that, then you're not my friend. So
So unless one of them wants to join the stream or super chat a sports trivia question.
Oh yeah, no. If you super chat it, like I will go on. I will turn my camera on, and I will like dance.
But
like I offer this on Maya's stream, and she's always like no. I always do it offline because I'm much more polite to Maya, I guess, than I am to Doc. Sorry, Doc. But I guess here I'm just offering it directly without even going through Doc first.
I mean, to be fair, Tap, there's a few reasons why I thought you two were dating when I first met you. You are absolutely her bitch.
Oh yeah, no, it's fantastic. I learned so much.
Okay, anyway, where were we?
I found 5 more dinosaur Jeopardy questions.
Yes, let's go.
I see we have a 4th person.
Oh yes, we also have me. Hi. Sorry, you joined a few minutes ago, and I decided to add you after that conversation. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I do have the sports ones lined up. The pros didn't get it. Why would we?
The challenge has the gauntlet has been thrown down.
Think of it as a wild card that you might be able to scrape some points together, but probably no one's going to score.
Okay, I mean we could try it. We could try.
All right, let's do it.
Sweet. They're not in order, but I will give the price tags when we go through them. Clue number 1. Now this guy loves football. Coaches the Bucks to a Super Bowl win, hits the MNF booth, then returns to coach the Raiders.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who is Tom Brady's coach?
Perhaps John. Who is John Gruden?
There's no way that's.
He spent 4 seasons with the Oakland Raiders before Tampa Bay Buccaneers acquired his services in 2002.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know what you want from me.
I thought this was football.
This one was football. Yeah, this was the $1,000. This was the $1,000 clue.
Oh man, this is just sad.
The $1,200 clue. This college coach lent his name to a youth football league. So for $1,200, this college coach lent his name to a youth football league.
What is Mr. Little for Little League?
That would be amazing, but no.
I tried.
Junior?
No. Who is Pop Warner?
What is the league? What's the league called?
Don't ask questions.
Since 1934, the name Pop Warner has been synonymous with youth football.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay.
So, hey, kids, want to play some Pop Warner football?
Learn something new every day.
Well, this is going great.
For $800 long thought to have invented baseball, he sought for the Union at Antietam and Gettysburg. Once again, for $800 long thought to have invented baseball, he fought for the Union at Antietam and Gettysburg.
Does it start with an M?
Who is General Meade?
Negative.
Who is Ulysses S. Grant?
That'd be awesome, but no. Who is Abner Doubleday?
Man, he'd be the coolest
that
president
guy.
ever. If he invented baseball.
Right? Like with Roosevelt's involvement with freaking football, but he didn't invent the game.
If you say so.
Okay, so
for $400 bucks. $400 bucks. basketball rules made just to hamper this 100-point scorer include you can't throw an inbounds pass over the rim.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Yes, but you didn't answer it in the form of a question.
Oh, well, I didn't know we were actually doing Jeopardy rules.
We have been this whole time.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, we've been very careful.
Wow, I actually did not even notice that y'all were doing that. My bad.
But $400 bucks on the line there. You guys hash it out.
Also, I'm just throwing in cool dinos now because scientific accuracy is for nerds.
Because of CRISPR, that is now how genetics works, so it's fine.
I'm just throwing in cool animals now.
Right.
Yeah.
We used a frog for this one. We used a monitor lizard for that one. Clue number 5 for 800. The 1970s Dodgers had the longest lasting intact this group. Garvey, first base, Lopez, second base, Russell, shortstop, and Say, third base.
Who's on first?
Negative.
I have no idea.
It's the opposite of the band name for Josie So Far Away. What is an infield instead of the outfield?
I literally don't even get it, but
Uh,
okay.
Lucy's in
Clue
the sky
number-
with diamonds.
Clue number 6 for $1,000 bucks. Starting in 1948, this Mr. Hockey was named to record 21 NHL All-Star teams.
Who is Stanley?
Good thought, but no.
Wait, can you repeat it?
Starting in 1948, this Mr. Hockey was named to a record 21 NHL All-Star teams.
I think we all missed that.
What?
idea.
I don't know, man, Mister.
Okay, yeah, there's over 5. I
Vlad the
my brain cannot
Canadian.
handle more than 5
Shut-
sports questions. Honestly,
Shall we
Who
return
is
to
Gordie
dinosaurs?
Howe?
we
Right.
gotta go back to dinosaurs.
Who is Gordie Howe? In 21, in 27 seasons, he was on 21 teams. Like, okay, pick a team, buddy. I mean, Gordie,
I've
No,
never heard
no,
that
guys.
name in my life.
right?
My totally
So,
not girlfriend Maya just showed up in the chat, so we can't keep talking about.
Does she
sports.
live in Canada?
Don't worry about
She's
it.
totally real, and she lives in Canada.
Okay.
I
Okay,
mean, he
back
streams
to
with her
the-
every week.
back
Right,
to
Also,
no, but I've got
behold,
that
a
up.
weird sauropod.
I'm just saying. But
This is
Behold.
called Brachytrachelopan.
Oh, I'm saying.
It has a short neck.
Your mom has a short neck.
back to the comfortable dinosaur trivia zone.
Yes.
Okay. This is an easy one, a $200 question here. I found a game that has a dino category from 2016. So for $200, and just whoever buzzes in first can get it. The name of dinosaurs known as ornithopods tells us they had feet shaped like those of these creatures.
What are birds?
Birds is correct. Okay, the $400 question.
Bird is the word.
Archaeological evidence suggests this 3-horned dinosaur may have been the last to survive before extinction.
Which one? What is Triceratops prorsus?
Yep, Happy gets it because he didn't overthink it. It is Triceratops.
I mean, I started my answer before he did, but okay.
Yeah, but
Wait,
That's not how
you
that
said,
works.
what do they mean? Which
Wait,
one?
can I get half a point because I was specific on the species?
There is
No.
no half a point. You overthought
Thank
the
you.
question. Tappy went with his gut. Okay, next question. Well, this one's a daily double. I don't know how we're gonna play that, but I guess it doesn't really matter for our purposes. So the $1,400 question. NBA fans, oh my god, I can't believe we're back here. Okay. NBA fans in this city cheer on a team represented by a speedy dinosaur of the late Cretaceous period.
Oh shit! Sorry. I remember hearing
Are there
about these.
raptors? Are some of them raptors somewhere?
Yeah, you have to name the city though.
I don't know who has the raptors.
I know we somehow got back to the sports trivia. God,
What is Orlando?
not correct. It's the Toronto Raptors.
It's not even in the United States.
It's not even in the U.S., man. No, this was like
Canada isn't even a real place.
I can't believe we literally found a dinosaur-themed sports question like hidden in the dinosaur category. I feel betrayed.
I feel attacked. Yeah, exactly. I feel attacked. I feel betrayed.
Okay, the $800 question. The 90-foot Diplodocus weighed 10 tons, 1/8 as much as some shorter dinos, because its bones were this.
What is hollow?
What is hollow?
Tappy was first. He got hollow. Yes. Tappy's doing well this round. He's doing well. I think he's in the lead for this round. The final question. Okay, that was 800.
I'm a god amongst weasels.
So you have
or weasel amongst gods.
So you have 1,200. Doc has 200. So it's 200 to 1,200 right now. And for the $1,000 question that would tie up this game, Sue, the skeleton of this creature is an attraction.
What is a T-Rex?
That is correct. It is now a tied game, 1,200 to 1,200, and that was actually the last in the category. So I don't know how we're gonna do a tiebreaker.
I've got Trivial Pursuit here.
I mean, we can just go to other ones.
I've got
Also,
Trivial
hello,
Pursuit.
Fro.
I can stay away from the orange sports category. And
if we're gonna go to other ones, though, then we got to go to a physics one. We got to keep on.
No, I found another dinosaur category in Jeopardy from November 2022.
Terrible.
Terrible lizards.
If it makes you feel better, I'm making a lot of tacos.
And Fro seems to have joined us. Welcome, Fro.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Did you come with trivia questions, or did you come to compete in dinosaur trivia?
Or both.
I don't know how well I would do in that. I know I was really into dinosaurs for a good bit of my life up till about 14 or 15, and I went on to other interests. But so my knowledge of them might be a little out of date.
Well, this category
since they renamed everything since then.
This category is specifically from this Jeopardy game from 2022, and it's dinosaur names specifically. Dinosaur names. So let's start off here. Whoever answers it first in the form of a question gets it. For $200. The name of the Pentaceratops means it has 5 of these on its face.
What are horns?
What are horns?
Yep, Tabby was first on that one. What are horns?
I thought I was first.
No, I said.
Maybe there's like an issue with internet lag, but I heard Tabby first.
I mean, I definitely thought I was first by like a solid second and a half.
Yeah,
I started first, but Tappy finished first.
Did everybody hear Tappy first?
I heard Tap as I was talking.
Right, you started first, but then Tap finished first.
But you and I, so Doc, you and I are both the least reliable people, though, because we're going to have zero lag from what we say, and we're going to have some lag from what everybody else says, whereas at least the other people are going to have the, hopefully similar lag. Hopefully.
Okay.
All right, you're right. Have some apology tacos.
Okay, let's go to the $400 question and see if anyone in chat can be a tiebreaker for that one. Okay. Hopefully I pronounced this one correctly. For $400, the Euplocephalus was named for this well-armored body part, kephale in ancient Greek.
What is the head?
The head is correct. Euplocephalus? Is that
Euoplocephalus?
Wait,
it's
say
the
it one more time,
cephalus
Doc.
part.
Yeah.
Euoplocephalus.
Euoplocephalus. All right.
It's the cephalus part that matters.
Gesundheit.
It's not
Oh
the-
no! Oh no! It happened again. The dinos are locked in the cage again. No.
Because
King's
cephalus
match.
head.
Yeah, the pertinent part of the question was the cephalus part of that word. Yeah, as they say, like
Yeah.
kephale in ancient Greek.
See,
Okay.
I did well on standardized tests, but this
Okay,
isn't a standard.
so the $600 question. Unearthed in Niger, the Jobaria dinosaur is named for a Tuareg legend about a giant creature in this barren region. Don't overthink it.
Where is
the Sahara
Jobar?
Desert?
I heard
What
Vandy
is
say the Sahara.
Desert?
That is
Yeah.
correct. Doc, I don't know if
Okay.
I didn't hear you say Sahara.
I said, where is Jobar?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that how you say it? Is Jobaria or
I have no idea.
Okay, it says the Jobaria dinosaur. I have no idea. I don't know how to pronounce Tuareg words, so but it is the Sahara. That is correct.
I'm a god.
If anyone wants to look up the Jobaria dinosaur,
I just want to be clear. You all now have to be theists because
Why?
I am a god.
wow,
Forget-
the man gets one dinosaur trivia question right. From a
I've
cat.
got like 3. Okay, and
I guess
you
that's the necessary criteria for being a god. I guess I
and don't keep in mind that I am covered in a trench coat, a mischief of weasels.
shouldn't that be that I am who I am? But anyways, the next
Wait, I thought. Oh, it's ferrets that are a business, isn't it?
I can't remember if weasels are actually a mischief, but I feel like they probably are. So I'm just gonna assert that. And you know what? Words are flexible. So I have a cult. Follow me.
Well, they're like a group of ferrets are called a business, so I don't see why they wouldn't give that to weasels, considering they're part of the same family group, right?
Yeah, true. Anyways, I think that the people did hear Dr. Tapioca Weasel first. And yes, Lunar Regalith, I did watch Jeopardy tonight. It was awesome. Anyways, the 800
and sorry, I do want to say, Jester, you can't super chat on here, but there are links in the description to ways you can send me money with a message. So that's kind of like a super chat.
We gotta fix this because you only need 102 more subscribers before you can monetize.
Subscribe.
Thank you all.
Okay. Are we ready to move on to the $800 question? Only this one and one more left.
Probably.
Okay. Because of its longer front legs, this tall dinosaur was given a name meaning arm lizard.
What is Therizinosaur?
No.
Okay.
I'm giving Tap 5 more seconds.
What is theropods?
No.
I don't know.
DokDeino.
Sorry, Nee, did you have a guess?
That seems like a no.
It was brought up earlier. What is Brachiosaurus?
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct.
Brachiosaurus is named after its arms?
It means arm lizard.
Brachio.
You're right. Now that I see it, I do.
I mean, its name is Brachiosaurus altathorax. It's the one with the big arms and the deep chest.
I never took any Latin or any of that hot nonsense. So,
well, you're gonna love this next question then.
I don't like you very much, Grayson. You're not a friend. And
for 1,000 trivia dollars, this dinosaur was about 2 feet long and has a name meaning.
What is Velociraptor?
And has a name meaning tiny thief. Velociraptor is not correct.
Damn it.
Tiny thief.
What is
Microcleptosaurus?
No, I think Doc.
What is Microcleptosaurus?
It's just Microraptor.
Damn it.
So I think Doc wins that round.
Microcleptosaurus, though, if Microraptor hadn't been correct, would have been a great guess.
That's not a bad name.
I mean,
Yeah, but also, you were almost close. Velociraptor means a swift thief. Swift thief.
yes.
I didn't know raptor meant thief. I had no idea.
Yep, no, it kind of does, because from the original languages meaning to take or steal, which is kind of how raptors today operate when you're looking to things, say condors or not condors, but like eagles and falcons especially.
Well, it can also translate as Caesar, as in one who seizes.
Maya makes a great point, though. I also had the same impression. I initially did think Donald Trump, but no, she is correct. That is the tiny hands.
Well,
The
thankfully, I
tiny
think
teeth.
as of now, there is no Trumposaurus, and we can all be grateful for that.
There's like a bacterium named after him or something.
Well, there's
Also,
bac-
That one dinosaur
bacterium,
looks like it has clown paint on.
that's
There's a
perfect, like
bacterium named after everybody, okay? Like,
actually, I think it's perfect as like a little like bacteria or slime mold named after him.
there's like 8 of them named after Obama. There's like 20 of them named after, I don't know, the Pope.
That's
At
fair.
least.
Also, really quick, behold sausages.
I'd rather not behold those, actually.
This is Majungasaurus, or as I like to call it, the murder sausage. Because it has no leg. It is just sausage.
It's just like a horizontal like sausage of death.
This dinosaur is like 20 feet long and 4 feet tall.
I'm not gonna lie, like looking at it, like it doesn't look like
Schnauzersaurus?
that balance works out. Oh, that's a big boy.
Sorry, what was that, Taff?
I said, oh, that's a big boy.
Before that,
I was saying that just looking at it, it doesn't look like the like proportions make it balance and work out right.
it doesn't look like it should. No.
But when I look closer, it makes more sense.
Like, oh wait, it's actually too tall. This is first person view. It should be just a bit shorter than a person.
It's a Schnauzersaurus.
Its hip should be at hip height. Wait, its hip should be at head height.
So, anyways, that's all the dinosaur trivia that I can provide in one night. So
that thing just peeks its head in your tent flap. And
well, you should provide more physics trivia then, because I will feel extremely validated. And I have a fragile ego.
Hey,
you got 5 questions.
Real quick, I hate to interrupt, but what's the Jurassic Park game where you can make where you can have an entire park of dinosaurs, but then let them go and let them out and eat all the tourists?
I mean, this is one of those games. I just don't have any tourists right now because they're annoying.
I understand.
But they taste good.
They do, but they're annoying.
Especially if you rotisserie them.
Also, all the giant
crispy on the
carnivores are aiming
outside,
that
moist
direction.
and tender on the inside. According to the New World Encyclopedia, a group of weasels is called, we've got some choices here, Boogle, Gang, Pack, and Confusion.
Confusion is the one that Maya pointed out, and that I now remember. It's not mischief, it's confusion. And you know what? That's also hardcore in a less marketable way, but you know.
But you're gonna pass up on Boogle, a Boogle of weasels.
You know, I go by Tapioca Weasel. I dressed up as a clown in a recent episode. I'm silly enough, you know. I don't need to lean into it that hard.
A Boogle of clown weasels.
I'm gonna take confusion. I feel like that's plenty silly.
Speaking of confusion, I'm going to be making some interesting aquatic animals. So it'll be fun.
Well, anyways, that's all I had, folks. So good night. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks for joining.
I'll see you guys later.
Oh, snap.
All right, peace.
I didn't even realize what time it was.
Oh, yeah, it's midnight for me. I'm all right. I'm usually up late.
I also should get going though. 'Cause I'm
There's Fia.
terrible. But it's been wonderful hanging out.
Yeah, nice having you, mate. I'll be listening along this Sunday.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Yeah.
See you. I don't know.
Sunday.
Rest of y'all want to talk dinosaurs, or what we doing?
I mean, I'm willing to peace out if you need to go.
Maybe after I release these things. There's some weird stuff about to come out of here.
Let's flip the dinos of war.
Well, first, the fish of war. This is the living guillotine.
What are their names?
Dunkleosteus.
There we go.
Literally translating as Dunkel's bone.
Is that what the mouth thing is?
It is entirely bone, yes, actually. It does not have teeth.
But is that the Dunkel bone?
No,
I
that
think-
is
I think so.
Dunkleosaurus, yes.
Dunkleosteus.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I'm going to use bone as teeth. And the sharks are like, I'm going to use teeth as skin.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, like those, like I think Dunkleosaurus kind of scare me more than sharks do, to be quite honest.
Right?
well, Dunkleosteus, but yeah, they're a bit frightening. And then we also have giant turtles.
Like the marsupial lion that had a similar arrangement for its carnassials. So it would just guillotine you.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah,
You lose a limb, you
Phylactyleo.
bleed out, you're not running away. And that thing evolved from an herbivore. It scavenged some meat and went, hey, this stuff's pretty good. I'm going all in on carnivory.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sorry, I
that's
saw this comment.
basically how-
I'd love to add a sack of Bambaspis, but I think it'd be a bit too small.
Oh, Sacabambastis!
That meme. It's great. It's cute.
Lindsay Nicole intensifies.
I
This is a no bone zone.
didn't hear about it first from her, but it is a lovely little critter. It's
I think
just a fish
Erica
with a
mentioned
permanent
it on
smiley face.
I think Erica mentioned it on one of her videos as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then we have Globidens here, which is an interesting mosasaur that actually has really thick, rounded teeth, which is not common in the group. So it's hypothesized it might have eaten stuff like shellfish. And then we have something big.
Shamu.
Giant ichthyosaurs. Shonosaurus. Apparently, one of the relatively few animals that we know people discovered and knew about before knowledge of fossils was well understood.
From the
Apparently, it's named after the Shoshone tribe. And yeah, apparently they knew about the fossils and understood, oh, this is from something that probably isn't alive anymore. It's kind of neat.
Hey Doc, real quick. So you might know this more than I do, but considering I guess you're going to school over this. What's the consensus right now with the possibility of Tyrannosaurus Rex having been pack hunters?
Okay, so this is unlike the is T-Rex a scavenger, quote unquote, debate. This is something that is practically a civil war in paleontology. I believe the current consensus is maybe,
Maybe.
because some people are in favor of it. Some people are not. The big thing is, we don't have the fossils that would 100% sway it either way. Like, just based on what we have, it is hypothetically possible that they could have been pack hunters, but we don't have the evidence for them.
I mean,
being
with the
pack
size of the
hunters.
herbivores, maybe.
Maybe, but we also have evidence that they ate a surprisingly high number of juveniles and younger animals. They were just super overbuilt.
Yeah,
Possibly because they apparently fought a ton with each other.
Contraspecific.
so like, do we typically, when they fight with each other, do we typically see the kind of wounds that might occur with pack hunting animals? Because typically, like, a lot of social animals, like say lions and wolves, may also kind of injure each other like that, but like, obviously not life-threatening injuries. Is that consistent with what we find with T-Rex fossils, or do they have injuries a bit more substantial than that?
Well, I mean, that's a tough question because social animals today will do lethal and non-lethal injuries depending on what they're fighting over and how intensely, and if it's an accident. And it's the injuries we have are mostly bite marks on the face and lower jaw. There aren't a lot of bite marks in other places, as far as I know, which is interesting, but it could also just mean that they were kind of careful with where they bit to try and avoid serious injury or chancing serious injury. Like, they weren't rocket scientists, but tyrannosaurs were probably fairly intelligent animals, at
Yeah,
least by
suppose-
dinosaur standards.
Yeah, suppose some of the more recent research goes out, they're arguing that they were at least as smart as baboons.
I think there's been more research recently that is going against that, but they were definitely at least intelligent for dinosaurs, which isn't a super. It's not a very high bar to trip over, but it is a bar.
I see. Now, there have been a few paleontologists I know that were arguing T-Rex had a septic bite. If we're looking for fossil evidence that could corroborate that, what would we be looking for?
I mean, that's kind of a tough question. Honestly, like, it probably would have had a bite about as nasty as any other carnivore with serrated teeth, which, don't get me wrong, they are nasty, but like, there's nothing especially outrageous about Tyrannosaurus Rex. Wow, Tyrannosaurus Rex's teeth. Like, they weren't especially snaggly to like snag food, and it wouldn't really have needed to rely on it, because, like, frankly, if a Tyrannosaurus Rex gets something in its mouth and it's alive, it is not going to escape that mouth alive unless it's in very special circumstances. Like, it is super lucky.
I see. Okay.
Because we're talking about an animal with a spiked hydraulic press for a face.
Yeah, that would be really nasty.
Yeah. And we have the fossils to show that it bit through bone. Like, just through bone.
I see.
Big bones, like a Triceratops pelvis.
Yeah, which would also explain why they had that massive bony crest in the set of horns on their faces.
I mean, horns, yes. Crest, possibly not. Because there are a lot. There's a lot of ceratopsians that
Don't
just
have that, yeah.
have that frill. Well, sorry, they have a frill, but it's not a they're filled with holes. Like they seem to be more of a display feature. And
Got it.
Triceratops actually shares most of its range with another ceratopsian named Torosaurus that has big holes in its frill. But they do both have really huge, sharp spikes on their face.
Yeah. So kind of going back to the bit of the pack hunter question, do we have any fossil evidence of other tyrannosaurs, not being Tyrannosaurus Rex, that were pack hunters?
Okay, so this is another thing that is kind of debated. I would say, based on the evidence we have, yes. But I have not personally studied these remains, so take what I say with a grain of salt. There are several tyrannosaurids, namely, I think, Gorgosaurus, Teratophonius, and maybe Albertosaurus. Maybe it's another tyrannosaur. That have been found in these big bone beds, like 10 plus individuals. I think one of them has 30, all in one place. And they all appeared to have died in the same event at the same time. The big question is if they lived together, which is a bit harder to say. Because like modern animals, non-social animals will still gather at like a kill site or due to droughts, stuff like that.
I see.
Which complicates matters.
Okay, so the reason we're able to pick out Velociraptor and a lot of raptors actually as being social animals is because not only were they found together, but we found direct evidence that they lived together too.
Oh, that's complicated. So first, really quick, I want to answer this question in the chat. I'm a Deinonychus, and my name is a play on Kentovant. Also, welcome back, Nee.
Thank you.
Now, as for raptors being pack hunters, the only two that I think we might have some evidence for that are Deinonychus, again, me, and possibly Utah raptor. Other than that, most dromaeosaurs appear to be solitary, or at least as solitary as like as any other dinosaur, because we usually find them alone.
So now, kind of a follow-up question is like, now again, you know more. That's why I'm very curious. You know more about this than I do. But what do I want to say? Yeah, why would other dromaeosaurs be pack hunters and others be solitary predators? Like, say for instance, like when we look at Utah raptor and Deinonychus, these are huge creatures. Like they stand well at our height. And so you would expect if there were to be lone predators, these guys would have been the lone predators, but something smaller than them, say Velociraptor, would have been more the pack hunters. So why do we find little evidence of other dromaeosaurs much smaller than these guys being more solitary, and the big ones are the lone hunters?
I mean, why do lions form prides when most other cats are solitary, except for the cats that were domesticated, like Felis catus? Why are they social, but most other small cats are entirely self-sufficient? It
Okay.
really just seems to be a very variable trait. In a lot of animals, like canids are the same way. Ursids are kind of the same way. Like pandas will form groups or they're fine alone. Same for, well, polar bears will sometimes travel in groups, like small groups. So will brown bears, so will black bears. It just seems to be a trait that has a lot of variation, even within a species. Like some wolves live more solo lives, some wolves live in packs, and a lot of wolves will alternate between it over the course of their lives. It just, with Deinonychus, we have found the remains of several Deinonychus at kill sites of an animal called Tenontosaurus, which, just for reference, a Deinonychus, like fully grown, was probably about the size of a modern wolf, like a modern gray wolf. Tenontosaurus is larger than a rhino. And we have found like the bodies of 3 or 4 Deinonychus scattered around the body of a Tenontosaurus. We found sites where we just have welcome back, Nee. Where we just have tons of teeth from what had to have been a ton of different Deinonychus, all clustered together around a kill, and other things like that. For Utahraptor, we have a big solid block of them, and then scattered bits and pieces in other places. And then for most other dromaeosaurs, it's just 1 or 2 skeletons completely scattered around. So it just seems to be a variable trait. Long way of saying that, I guess, but we
Another
have some
strong
evidence
maybe.
for it. Yeah, it is. We can piece some things together with a fossil record. We can say, oh, this creature had these dimensions, most likely, and it probably weighed about this much.
Multi-dimensional
Behavior-wise,
dinosaurs.
it's a bit harder unless there are like direct skeletal correlations, like teeth or bones that are commonly broken in a specific way. Like a lot of Allosaurus have stress fractures, like shin splints, on their toes and on their arms. And the current hypothesis for that is that they used their arms to help hunt, and then they used their feet to pin down food and like rip up with their head because they have really strong neck muscles.
So they were
And it
riding
just
them like
caused
bulls?
stress fractures.
I see. Okay, so they would basically get like kind of stress fractures from exertion while going after prey. Then,
And while feeding on prey, yeah. And this is fairly well supported because most of the Allosaurus we have these injuries.
Oops.
So it's common.
so whatever
you don't get
behavior
that
was
with every
causing
species.
this, so whatever behavior was causing that was something typical for the species. Then,
Yes. Or at least
That or they
appears
got
to be.
shin splints the old-fashioned way by running too much.
I mean, they could have had that too. But that's a lot less common in wild species because humans run more than they should on purpose.
Persistence hunter.
Yeah.
And Doc, can you speak to the cover-up of the psychic abilities of the Tyrannosaurs from the Who Would Win series of Ultimate Dinosaur Rubble?
I mean, who knows? Maybe they telekinesis things because they had
They
tiny...
can win because
Woohoo!
they want to.
well, honestly,
Sorry.
sorry.
Sorry, really quick. Crusher brings up a good point here. Marine iguanas are relatively social in comparison to a lot of other reptiles. True. But I would say I don't know if they really have social behavior so much as they tolerate a lot of their same species in the same place pretty well, which is another trait that's super variable between related taxa. And that's like a legitimate argument that could explain some of the assemblages we see. Like, you don't have to be friends with someone to die with them.
That's true. You can just kind of know them casually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
mean,
don't make murder-suicide pacts with my acquaintances.
I mean, true, but if your workplace catches fire and you can't get out...
I don't have to, outrun the fire. I just have to outrun you.
You had another question, Fro? And then after this, I'm probably going to start winding down. I've been live.
This has been a Velociraptor-free workspace for 165 million years.
Yeah, no,
70.
I don't think I really have any more questions that kind of come to mind. But so I guess maybe one, like given the fact that we only have fossils to work with, how certain are we that we're actually restructuring in any accurate way kind of these social structures amongst these animals? Like, is it like a 50-50, 70-30?
Oh boy. So as part of answering that, I'd like to ask, what is the difference between a hypothesis and a theory?
The amount of grant money you get?
Yep. A hypothesis is essentially a hypothesis is you theorizing something that might be versus theory where you introduce it to rigid experimentation.
And it continuously holds up to attempts to break, basically. Like, repeated observations are continuously corroborated by successive experimentations.
And evidently, I guess that latter part is going to be relatively difficult.
Yeah. So we can hypothesize about like the way an extinct life form may have lived. Those hypotheses are usually based. I'll stick with usually. Usually based. Also, that helicopter is still circling. Jeez. Usually based on aspects of their morphology or like injuries they might have, other things like that. They're usually based on something.
Gotcha.
I mean, we don't just find a dossier with them?
Right. The problem comes with, okay, this animal could have hypothetically done this, but with the information we have no way to test if it actually did. Like, a human can run a marathon. A human can bench press 500 pounds. A human can give birth. A human can do any number of things.
Anything
but not
you can
every
do, I can
human
do
is going to
better.
do any, or not every human is going to do all of those or even one. But they all, well, most of them could do it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Okay,
then. And now let's say you just find a skull of a human. What could it have done? Like, okay, it has a big brain, it has large eye sockets, it has a reduced nose and olfactory lobe. Okay, it probably had good vision.
Teeth.
Yep, could probably hear. It had tiny teeth, so it probably ate really small things, even though its teeth are also good for smashing. So maybe it ate like nuts and berries and bugs. And
Maybe.
you could test that with isotopes actually, and you might actually get a signal like that. Like it might have done these things. It had a big brain, so it was probably kind of intelligent. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe
I see. So
maybe this is a weird maybe this is a weird individual with hydrocephaly or something like that, like
so without direct observation of these creatures in the flesh and blood, our hypotheses can only be that, essentially. Is that what you're saying?
unless there is physical evidence to support it, yes. Like with what I was talking about with the shins, with the, I guess, arm splints with Allosaurus. Like that is a result of behavior. Your bones don't naturally develop tears and shards in the muscles and ligaments. Usually.
So instead of the shin, it's the radius?
Like, I think all of these guys are going to try to do a social behavior, I think, but one's tiny and one's... Sorry, that was funny. Yeah, it's like in the arms and the digits.
I see. Okay.
And then also just in the toes.
It's because they smothered their prey with pillows.
Hey,
I'm sorry, did my explanation make any sense?
No, it made perfect sense. Thank you for answering me, Doc. I'm going to have to bail on out here. I got a final to study for at 10 tomorrow. And
good luck.
Well, thank you. Thank you kindly. And with that, I'll bid you goodbye and God bless you.
Yeah, have a good evening. And thank you for joining me, and thank you everyone else for joining too. I think I'll say as a last thing, in the description are links to a GoFundMe, a hashtag for Cash App, or an @ for Venmo. If you'd like to donate any money to help with my expedition this summer, please feel free to do so, but you don't have to. What was that?
There are multiple tiers, unlock some perks. First, their playlist.
That's true. If you donate $50 or more, you can choose some of the music I listen to on the expedition, which I assure you will be playing constantly. So you can either make me happy or cause me great pain.
For a lower tier, you can name some dinos on this game.
Yeah, next time we play, you can name a dinosaur. And
who doesn't want to name a dinosaur?
There are other things too. But yeah, any amount helps, but don't feel like you have to. And thanks for joining this evening. Do you have anything coming up on your channel, Nate?
I just do some streaming, and apparently my audio is garbage, but I already knew that.
I mean, you sound fine to me.
Well, on this, but not when I'm airbrushing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well then.
That's nitty.
I can't donate. I don't have your word. What do you mean by that, Chester? Just out of curiosity, because if I recall, you've actually donated quite a bit, and thank you again for that. Let's stop screen sharing and.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah.
Semi-literally tonight, you had the aquatic things.
Yes, there was at least one fish on screen. I'll give
Dunkley.
Chester a second to say what he meant by my
Your
word, and then. Oh, well, I mean the game is offline now, so nothing else in the game can be killed tonight.
And your bloodlust is insatiable, so that's an impossibility.
True. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Adios.